side, picking up some much-needed yards and first downs.
Look at the reflection off the skyline in downtown South Bend. It's emblematic of the football fever that's burning in this town this weekend. Sure, there's a top 20 college matchup on Saturday night, but it'll be hard-pressed to match the intensity of what we're about to see here, because you are looking at Father Bly Field, where tonight St. Joe County's two Catholic schools go head-to-head. The Marian Knights and the St. Joseph Huskies collide on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week. How you doing, everybody? Alongside the Hall of Famer Bo Hundt, my business and broadcast partner Angelo Di Carlo, Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for what should be an exciting night of football on Sports Michiana. The Marian Knights come in with a record of 2-1. They lost to Mishawaka in the season opener. No harm done there. Came back and beat a couple of opponents using their defense. But when I talked to Michael Davidson this week, Bo, he told me the strength of this ball club is really in the trenches.
Yeah, they got a lot of big guys up front that's really going to carry the load. They're going to open up holes for the offense and really shut it down for the defense as well. But they've really relied on that defense these last couple of weeks, and that's what's going to hold them throughout for the rest of the season.
St. Joseph comes in with a record of 3-0, and some people wonder why they're not ranked. And Ben Downey will tell you, because we haven't beaten anybody yet. Well, they have a chance to beat somebody tonight, their arch rival, and they'll do it if they can get the ball to people in the space with the skill position.
Yeah, they got to get it to their playmakers, get it out in the open, make sure they can get some big yardage pickups. They're averaging over 35 a game, so they're putting up those numbers, but can they do it against this Marian defense?
Meanwhile, Angelo Di Carlo will be roaming the sidelines once again tonight, and Ange will show the game between the sidelines, but the game between the sidelines really is only a small part of the story of this rivalry.
They are rallying together to get food for the hungry, for the St. Vincent de Paul Society and the Hunger Bowl. After the game, they're going to gather in prayer. There's just so much emotion that goes into this game. Our student athletes of the week both played football together at St. Anthony's. And again, that emotion is what Ben Downey talked to me about this week, of what you're really going to learn about your football team is this feels like a playoff game where the careers are on the line for the seniors, because you want to win this game so bad. And for the seniors, absolutely you do, because you want bragging rights for the rest of your life. That's what's on the line in the 65th edition.
The great Father Bly would have held an argument whether the sky is Columbia blue or Marian blue. Well, we'll find out. The bragging rights go to the winner, and we'll tell you all about this one in the pregame show, sponsored by Ferret Custom Roll Forming, featuring our Lilliard Insurance Keys to Win next on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week. The Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week is brought to you by Tony Letcher Health Markets, Tire Rack, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Big C Lumber, Ferret Custom Roll Forming, McInnes Realty, Patrick, Reliance, the Lilliard Insurance Agency, the St. Joseph County Police Department, Babsco, Tom's Car Care Center, and these great sponsors.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Shopping for tires used to really ruffle my feathers. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack made it easy to identify the right tires. No more searching high and low. I got the best deal. TireRack has thousands of recommended installers. I chose a mobile installer. They brought the tires to my neck of the woods and put them on, right here in my driveway.
You're all done.
Thank you. When it's time for new tires, trust the experts. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Ready to be part of our winning team? The St. Joseph County Police Department is hiring, and we are looking for people of all ages who want to make a difference. With a starting salary of $52,000 plus full benefits, including medical, dental, vision, and vacation, you are in control of your future. So whether you're just entering the game or looking for a new position, now is the time to get off the sideline. Learn more today at sjcpd.org.
Mom, it's happening again. The internet froze. It's just buffering over and over.
Sounds like we need faster internet.
Back to school starts with better internet. Get Surf Fiber Fast Internet today for just $30 a month with AutoPay. Visit surfinternet.com.
What have you been doing?
Looking for a new internet provider.
You should get Surf. They're really good. No contracts or hidden fees and price lock for life.
Okay, I'm in.
Get Surf Fiber Fast Internet today for just $30 a month with AutoPay. Visit surfinternet.com.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week is being brought to you by Ferret Custom Roll Forming. We form value. And we welcome you into the Ferret Custom Roll Forming pregame show as we get you ready for this one with the Lilliard Insurance Keys to Win. And we'll start by looking at the key players for the visiting Marian Knights. They are led by their quarterback, Mitchell Fimble, the 5'11", 183-pound senior, one of the captains on this team. Has been very accurate throwing the ball, 5 of 7 for 96 yards. He also has rushed for 100 yards and a touchdown. He'll need some help on offense from Vinny Gruber, the 5'7", 151-pound sophomore. Hasn't broken off a lot of big runs this year, but he's been very effective. 59 carries for 228 yards. A little more than half of those last week in the win over Adams. The keys to win for the veteran Michael Davidson and the Knights.
The keys to win tonight for the Knights, they need to stop that run first and foremost. The O-line must dominate up in the trenches and, most importantly, improve on their special teams. They have not been very well in the first 3 games.
Meanwhile, for the St. Joe Huskies, well, they are coached by Ben Downey, and one of their key players has that same last name. His name is Dallas Downey, the 6'2", 190-pound senior wide receiver and defensive back. And we'll take a look at him. Throughout the night, he has had a very successful season with 14 catches for 206 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he'll get some help from James Crenity. He's kind of their Swiss Army knife, 6 feet, 200 pounds, and a junior. Couple of runs, 3 big catches. Defensively, one of their leading tacklers with 21 stops, including a tackle for loss.
The keys to win tonight for the Huskies, they must limit those mistakes. They've had too many the last few weeks and feel that they cannot have any against this defense that Marian has. Fly around on D. They can't rely on 1-2 people getting to the guy to make the tackle. They need to have the whole team get to him and win field position. Make sure they take advantage of their special teams because they have very good guys in the punting and kicking game.
St. Joe has already taken the field. Here come the Marian Knights. It's a terrific atmosphere for football here at Father Bly Field. We've given you the Lilliard Insurance Keys to Win on the Ferret Custom Roll Forming pregame show. It's time to get it kicked off, and that comes your way next on Sports Michiana.
Experience the summer in style with decking from Big C Lumber. From the professional to the do-it-yourselfer, Big C will assist you through the entire deck planning process. Big C's selection of composite and PVC decking material offers durability and low maintenance, all while maintaining the look and feel of real wood. Our free delivery service ensures more of your budget is allocated toward your project. Revitalize your outdoor living space with Big C Lumber.
Your car carries precious cargo. It needs to be dependable, rain or shine. Let Tom's Car Care Center in South Bend help take the stress out of your car's maintenance. We'll change your oil in 10 minutes, flush your transmission, replace your wiper blades, and much more. Oil changes include a half-price car wash when needed. Welcome to your extended family, Tom's Car Care Center.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Let's be honest, shopping for window treatments can be a real pain in the glass. Shades, shutters, blinds, drapes, the options are endless. Avoid expensive mistakes and return shipping with online retailers. Call the local team at Quality Window Treatments. Their entirely local process makes choosing the right look for your space easy. They bring the showroom to you during your in-person consultation. And with hands-off local installation, you never make a measurement. Visit QualityWindowTreatment.com to book your free consultation and see your space in a whole new light.
Looking to buy or sell a home in the Michiana area? Call McInnes Realty, Michiana's fastest growing real estate company where service comes first, built on knowledge, care, and community. Through our Homes for Heroes program, we proudly give back to those who serve. Firefighters, law enforcement, EMTs, military, teachers, and healthcare workers, past or present, qualify for hero rewards when they buy or sell with us. Call McInnes Realty today at 574-271-3440.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. They're putting people over profits. The captain's getting ready to head to midfield on a gorgeous night for football here in the heart of downtown South Bend. Marian and St. Joe for the 65th chapter of this rivalry. And we welcome you inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Chuck and Bo with you. And Bo, one of the things we always do at this time, take a look at what the teams are wearing tonight. Brought to us by It's Tops.
It's Tops brings you what the teams are wearing you tonight. Marian, they're wearing the white jersey, white pants, the blue helmets, and blue numbers. St. Joe, they're wearing the black jerseys, black pants, black helmets, and the Columbia blue numbers. That's brought to you by It's Tops in Mishawaka.
The series history goes back to 1967. St. Joe leads the series 36-28, but Marian has won 9 of the last 11, including a shutout win last year at Atulski Field by the count of 27-0. You see John Rogeman in the white hat. He has been officiating now for 37 seasons. The former Mishawaka Hall of Fame player is the white hat tonight. He flips the coin, and the toss has been won by the Marian Knights, who have elected to receive, and they'll be down at the west end of Layton Stadium. By the way, John Rogeman working with Kevin Goralczyk, Mike Rennert, Joe Van Neville, and Matthew Wyrick tonight. The IHSAA always looking for more officials. Go ahead and contact someone at your local officials association. Jimmy Arnett would be the guy locally. By the way, John Rogeman, this isn't the first time he's done a St. Joe Marian game. He had one over at School Field years ago, called an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, then went into the huddle and said not only is it 15 yards, it's 10 Our Fathers and 5 Hail Marys.
I have the pleasure of working with John throughout the week, and he told us that story on Tuesday at our staff meeting, and got a little kick out of it, and somebody else at the rest of the table. Great ref crew here that we have tonight, a lot of local guys, a lot of ties to this Marian and St. Joe teams as well, so looking forward to this Holy War.
The weather sponsored by our friends at OSMC. 79 degrees here at kickoff. The wind just a gentle zephyr out of the southeast at 6. Barely moving Old Glory on the flagpole. There is no chance of rain here tonight. Our opening kickoff tonight is sponsored by our friends at Babsco, and our first quarter brought to us by Peter Horvath Law.
Michelle and Peter Horvath are huge supporters of Marian. Their youngest, Prescott, is playing his last Holy War football game tonight. As years pass, it's vitally important to set up your future and the future of your kids. Peter is a local lawyer specializing in estate planning. Prepare your family's future by contacting Peter Horvath Law today.
There you see Terrence Lane will be the deep man for the Marian Knights, standing down at his own 5-yard line. And Ryder Place handles the kicking duties here for the St. Joe Huskies. The Place family, a large part of St. Joe football, as Anj will highlight a little bit later on in the broadcast. St. Joe 3-0 on the season. They have wins over Lakeland, Fort Wayne South, and New Prairie. Marian 2-1. They lost to Mishawaka on opening night. Since then, they've beaten Culver Academy and South Bend Adams. Good crowd on hand, a little bit late arriving. There's a little bit of traffic in town this weekend. But we're glad you've taken the time to join us here on Sports Michiana. Place on the approach. We are underway at Father Bly Field. His sidewinding kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. And Marian will start at 1st and 10 at the 20. That kick sponsored by Place Home.
Good kickoff to start the opening series here for St. Joe.
Got a chance to meet the Marian offense. Let's do that right now. It's sponsored by the Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend Catholic Schools. Mitchell Fimble, the quarterback for the squad. We told you about Vinny Gruber. The Lane brothers are the receivers along with Jason Simonowski. Prescott, Horvath, the Doran Brooks. Couple of big offensive tackles and returning starters to anchor that Marian offensive line. They'll go with a one-back set. Gruber, the running back behind Mitchell Fimble. And Fimble will keep it himself on a design quarterback run, but has to hold up. And down he goes as the St. Joe defense is able to get to him. It looked like Jackson Troster, the outside linebacker, made the stop. And let's go ahead and meet that St. Joe defense. It's sponsored by Carlton. That's the St. Joe offense. The St. Joe defense features Austin Radigan at one defensive end. Charlie Moran filling in tonight because Charles Grewe had to move to linebacker. Mason Kazmerzak, the leading tackler on the team. We told you about James Crenity, Ryan Ruskowski, another veteran in that defensive backfield at safety. It's a loss of 1 on the play, and it's 2nd and 11. The snap, the fake on the end around, and Gruber greeted rather rudely in the backfield. Mason Kazmerzak, the middle linebacker, with a hit.
What a great job by this St. Joe defense. 1st and 2nd down. Talked about one of their keys to win, flying to the ball on defense. They've done a great job here in 1st and 2nd down of flying to that ball. Not just 1 or 2 guys, the whole team flying to that ball on defense. Here you just saw in the OSMC replay.
Fimble lost 1 on 1st down. Gruber loses 3 on 2nd down. And Marian looking at a 3rd and 14. Trips to the right of Mitchell Fimble, who is only 5 of 7 throwing so far this year. He's looking to the left for Lane, and he makes the completion, but it's short of the 1st down as James Crenity comes up and makes the hit at the 27 after a pickup of 11.
Great job on defense, bending, not breaking, giving them enough room to understand, keep him in front and not give up that big play. Marian's going to line up as if they're going to go for it. They like to drop back sometimes and punt out of this situation.
Fimble has been very successful punting the ball this year, and this is in hopes for Marian, I'm sure, of helping to neutralize that St. Joe pressure from the special teams unit. And indeed, they drop Fimble back just a little bit more. He's about 6 yards behind the center. It's a quick pooch punt, and nobody is back deep. This is going to be very effective for Marian as it checks up and rolls dead at the 30-yard line. So that's a 43-yard punt with no return. The kick sponsored by Marian High School. And St. Joe gets its first possession of the night, 1st and 10 at the 30.
Well, that St. Joe defense really stepped up that series, and they're sponsored by Carlton. They've been doing business in South Bend for more than 50 years and are the country's leading provider of financial calculation software. While they serve clients throughout the country, Carlton believes in giving back here at home, including supporting St. Joe, where 3 generations of Ruskowskis have graduated. Go, St. Joe!
Sam Shikatano starting at quarterback after a very good week of practice. Franco Biffle is his running back to his right. And it is Biffle going off the left side. He's got some room, dodging tacklers, and Franco Biffle stood up after a pickup of 8 on first down. It gives us a chance to meet the St. Joe offense, sponsored by the Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend Catholic Schools. You see Chickatano and Biffle there. Downey, the leading receiver. They love to throw to the tight end, Radigan. Big physical offensive line led by Nick Ortiz, the returning starter at tackle. Jayton Snavely, also a returning starter, along that St. Joe offensive line. Huskies looking at a 2nd and 2. Chickatano hands it off. And on the run for St. Joe is Antoine Ross. And he's got a first down. It's sponsored by KZ Power Solutions as he goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line after a pickup of 4.
Here you can see on the OSMC replay, watch this forearm as he gets out there. Just little shiver, push him off to the side. Nice stiff arm. Great job of picking up that first down.
David Waite, the normal backup running back, is out with an injury tonight. So you may see St. Joe doing some more things with Ross, who had 11 carries on the season coming into the game. And it's Ross in motion. But it's Biffle trying to go up the middle, and this time he's shut down pretty well by the Marian defense, who gets him right at the line of scrimmage.
That last first down brought to you by K2 Power Solutions in South Bend. They're proud to help power tonight's broadcast, led by a highly skilled team of diverse professionals. K2 Power Solutions is Michiana's new home for your industrial and commercial electrical service needs. Go St. Joe.
And there you see the Marian Products Marian defense. Seth Crusader, you'll meet him at halftime, one of our student athletes. Braden Cerny, one of the top tacklers on the team in that secondary. Keep an eye on Parker Mrzinski with 13 tackles on the year, and Terrence Lane with 2 interceptions. Long look at those wristbands by St. Joe as they look at 2nd and 10. And now a timeout being called by Ben Downey. And the timeout for St. Joe being sponsored by Crimmins Carpet Services. Let's go downstairs for a Patrick Sideline report. Angelo Di Carlo has the story for you.
All right, Chuck, thank you very much. It is an odd feeling to be at the Holy War and a Holy War football game in particular without David Whitfield being in attendance. The former Marian standout and father to 6 Marian alums died suddenly just before Christmas. He was just 57 years old. Alongside his wife of nearly 30 years, Beth, Dave was absolutely beloved around Marian, and he was always around walking the sidelines for Marian games, even well after his kids graduated. That's why Marian is wearing DW decals on the back of their helmets all season to remember Dave, who is known for his big smile, warmth, and laugh. His sons, Michael, Jacob, and Zach, were all stars in the Holy War football game. His family meant the world to him, and he even recently became a grandpa. Dave is also the man who welcomed Demetrius Jackson into his family as his foster son and guided Demetrius through high school, college, and beyond. Dave was also known for his Notre Dame football tailgates, and his kids will continue that legacy tomorrow before the home opener against Texas A&M. Franco, back up to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Anj. Franco Biffle on the carry, but there's a flag on the play, and I believe this one will be coming back. And we all had the pleasure of meeting Dave Whitfield over the years. What a tremendous guy, a tremendous supporter of not only Marian, but just the ICCL and the diocese, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a finer man.
No, just everything that he's done and supported, and not just at Marian, but in the community. And as Anj talked about, the Notre Dame tailgate, and just so many people he's influenced and got together and bringing people together and bringing families together. Just, our heart and prayers go out to him and his family.
So John Rogeman trying to get this one all figured out here based on the flag that was thrown, but everybody has come back up to the original line of scrimmage. And it's going to go backwards against St. Joe for a personal foul on a chop block by the Huskies.
Marian Products has been known for meeting customer metal forming needs for more than 50 years. They support both teams playing tonight, but they admit they really like Marian. Learn more at MarianProducts.com.
And there were actually 2 personal fouls on the play, both the chop block and another one that'll be half the distance to the goal line. So St. Joe will be looking at 2nd and forever. Forever being 39 yards.
That's not too bad. They got a couple downs to get there.
They'll spot the ball down at the 14-yard line. They have to get to the Marian 48. So I threw in an extra yard there. It's only 2nd and 38. Chickatano from the gun. Has time to throw. Dumps it out to Franco Biffle. And Biffle cannot break free from the grasp of J.J. Gruber.
Gruber did a great job of just holding on, waiting for somebody else to come clean up the tackle. Great job of containing there. And we know this St. Joe offense can explode, and they can hit some big plays. Marian's defense just needs to keep it in front of them right here.
3rd and 37. It says 39 on the scoreboard, but I can do the math here. Chickatano working for the gun with Franco Biffle to his left. And we'll see how Ben Downey decides to play this. Chickatano rolls out. He throws out in the flat, and it's dropped by Dallas Downey. And St. Joe's going to have to punt it away, and Marian should get great field position.
The Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend Catholic Schools, aligning dedicated principals, teachers, and support staff to the mission of the church. This allows each child to experience not only a great academic and safe environment, but one that leads to the development of virtues and holiness.
Ryder Place to do the punting. His punt sponsored by Place Homes. Terrence Lane is the deep man and a dangerous punt returner who averages 9 yards per return. Michael Davidson said special teams was one of the keys for his squad tonight. Let's see how they do here. Place bangs one out of there. It'll hit at midfield, and Lane from his 44. Good coverage by the Huskies brings him down in Marian territory at the 48-yard line, but still, Marian benefiting from the 2 St. Joe personal fouls.
Yeah, I mean, they benefited hugely because they're getting the ball basically at midfield. Luckily, they didn't get a call on the block in the back right there on that return. Their defender held up just enough not to get the call.
42-yard punt with a 4-yard return, and the second possession of the night for the Knights with 7:41 to go here in the first quarter.
Crimmins Carpet Services is father and son owned and has been operating in South Bend for more than 35 years. Their team is dedicated to providing customers with quality cleaning and repair. Remember, it's not clean until it's Crimmins cleaned. Go St. Joe.
Remember, Marian had 2 negative rushing plays on that very first possession. And then they put the ball in the air with Mitchell Fimble. Now it looks like they're going to try some wildcat here with Terrence Lane.
Going to a different look, trying to change things up a little bit.
They put Crusader in motion. And it's Lane himself on the carry, and that didn't fool anybody from St. Joe. He picks up a yard on the play.
Looks like they're bringing in Lucas Marr now.
Well, throughout the season, Michael Davidson has rotated his quarterbacks, and so here's Lucas Marr, 5'10", 163 pounds, and a senior. He has thrown a lot more than Fimble has this year, 27 attempts but only 9 completions. He does have a couple of rushing touchdowns, so he is not just a thrower. Good student, 3.6 GPA. So we'll see how Marr can do here on a 2nd and 9 from just past the 48. And Marr looks to his right, fires the ball, tipped and intercepted. St. Joseph with the pilfer. Nope, they're saying it's incomplete and hit the ground. He did not possess it.
Lucas Marr's pass is ruled.
Looked like the side judge ruled that it was complete, but the back judge, who had a better angle, called it incomplete. Here you can see on the OSMC replay. See if you can see the ball. It looked like it did hit the ground, and he did trap that ball. Luckily for Marian, it's still only 3rd down.
James Cranetti thought he had the interception. Instead, it's an incompletion for Marr. And 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Marr, it's a jailbreak for St. Joe, and he'll have to throw it away. It's almost like his offensive line didn't know the snap count.
Well, it looked like they were possibly setting up a screen to this backside, but he had so much pressure, he had no chance of turning around and throwing to the backside.
So 4th down, punting situation, and Fimble comes on now. And Charles Gruey had the pressure that time for St. Joseph. So Fimble will line up in a pistol, but they will remedy the formation, and he'll go to punt it away. Dallas Downey, one of the deep men for St. Joe, along with James Cranetti, It's a good kick, and Downey retrieves it back at his 10, but he's got room to run. Downey with a wall of blockers in front of him. Downey with a terrific return back to the 38-yard line, a return of 28 yards.
Dallas Downey brings the punt back for about the 38.
So a 28-yard punt return that time for Dallas Downey. You get another look here from OSMC.
A big thank you to Tire Rack, the scoreboard sponsor for the Sports Michiana Game of the Week. When it's time for new tires, go to TireRack.com. Their easy-to-use shopping tools will guide you to the right tires. Shipped fast and free and backed by free road hazard protection. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
By the way, that punt was sponsored by our friends at Marian High School. Second possession now for St. Joe. They had 2 personal fouls that derailed the first one. Chicatano to throw. Out in the flat, Dallas Downey, who just had that big punt return, fumbles, and Marian's got it. The Knights pounce on it at the 47-yard line.
I was wondering if they were going to call a catch and a fumble because it was so quick. Here you can see in the OSMC replay. Oh, yeah, he makes about 3-4 steps.
Supe Sete gets on the football for Marian at the St. Joe 47. And the Knights get the first big break of the night.
Yeah, I mean, huge break for the Marian Knights, taking the ball over inside St. Joe territory. DeWald Fluid Power and the DeChico family are always pulling for Marian. DeWald Fluid Power is a full-service air and hydraulics and tooling components distributor. People you can trust, technology and solutions you deserve. DeWald Fluid Power.
Mitchell Thimble back in the game at quarterback for Marian. This time in St. Joe territory for the first time this evening. Vinny Gruber, his tailback. Thimble wants to throw. Rolling right, flushed out, and now taken out of bounds by Charles Gruey for a loss of 2.
That was all set up by the deep backs, really containing, not letting the receivers get open whatsoever, and then allowed the defensive linemen to get in and get the pressure.
Gruey with his second sack of the season, missed last year with an injury, but he has come back with a vengeance here in 2025. 2nd and 12 as we approach the midway part of quarter number 1. And the defenses have dominated to this point. And we've got a penalty here against Marian as Sam Carrillo jumps offside.
That all started right when during the snap count. They had about 3 different people go down at different times, and as they went down, they all got thrown off on what the count was.
Brings up 2nd and 17.
2nd and 17 does not play well into most teams' playbooks, and certainly not a team like Marian, who is much more successful running the football than they are throwing it. Thimble did complete a pass earlier tonight to Terrence Lane for 11 yards. Let's see if he's trying to go back to him right here. He does. Lane with the grab and takes it upfield. A little jitterbug takes it into St. Joe territory to the 48-yard line for a pickup of 6.
Tonight's factoids are brought to you by Andrew Weiss of Knights of Columbus. Andrew wants you to know this important factoid that many may not realize. The Knights of Columbus do Catholic investments and comprehensive financial planning. Let Andrew Weiss be your guide. Learn more at AndrewWeissKOFC.com.
3rd and 11 for Marian. From the St. Joe 48. Huskies showing blitz, and here they come. And Thimble is down for Mason Kazmierzak in the backfield. Loss of 10 on the play, and the Huskies just pinned their ears back that time.
Man, they just did a great job bringing it off the corner there. The pressure that they're putting on Thimble in the backfield, they're not giving him any time to get open. But again, credit those D backs for really containing those wide receivers to allow those D-line and the blitzers to get in there.
Oliver Sager now comes on to do the punting for Marian. He's a member of the soccer team for the Knights, who were victorious over St. Joseph earlier this week. Sager's kick end over end. Cranidio fair catch it back at the 27. The kick is sponsored by our friends at Marian High School. 4:50 to go in the first quarter, and back and forth we go.
Hey, to win in sports, adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Lindsay Downey, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help you create a game plan for financial success. See Lindsay on Bendix Drive in South Bend to get started today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
St. Joe has hurt itself here tonight offensively. 2 personal fouls and then a turnover. We'll see what Ben Downey's team can do here with 4:50 to go in the first quarter as they head into the setting sun.
Remember our first quarter tonight, sponsored by Peter Horvath Law.
Franco Biffle on the carry around the left side, and the big fella rumbles for close to a first down. I don't think he quite made it. But Biffle, a member of the baseball team here at St. Joe, had himself a really good sophomore year, scored 7 touchdowns, got banged up a little bit last year, seemingly has regained form.
Yeah, I mean, St. Joe's had some great runs with him on first down, the last drive and this drive as well, but then penalties have really killed them that last drive. See if they can really sustain a drive here and get some first downs and really move the ball on offense.
2nd and 1. They really rely on those white dogs on the offensive line for St. Joseph. And it's Biffle again. Good move in the backfield, now going laterally, finally turns the corner and has the first down, but a late flag comes in. And we'll have to see what that's all about. Looks like it could be a block in the back against St. Joe.
He did pick up enough yards to get the K2 Power Solutions, but it is going back.
It's a hold called against the Huskies, and that'll cost him 10 yards.
Parents trust OSMC because they deliver more than treatment. They provide cares that's accessible, high quality, and transparent. Get the care you need when you need it. Visit osmc.com or their OrthoCare walk-in clinic in Granger off of University Drive.
So instead of a 1st and 10, it's 2nd and 10 for St. Joseph back at the 28-yard line where this drive started. Huskies now have outdistanced their own offense with penalty yardage tonight. They have 31 yards offense, 38 in penalties.
Hard to win ball games when you penalize that much.
Chicatano out in the flat to Dallas Downey, and he has the first down for K2 Power Solutions as he takes it all the way up to the 39-yard line.
Marian students have multiple opportunities to take dual credit classes, those that count for both high school and college credit, during their 4 years at Marian. And these classes are offered at no additional cost to Marian families. To learn more, visit marianhs.org or contact the Marian Admissions Office.
Downey now with 16 catches on the season. And they'll try it on the end around again to Antoine Ross, and Ross manages to cut it up the field to the 46-yard line for a pickup of 7. He has some speed. He was on that 4x100 city champion relay team for St. Joseph last year during track season.
Yeah, they really like some of their playmakers here on the St. Joe squad. Guys that can get in the open space. They have some speed to break some long ones.
Matt Champlin in the game now at running back. Champlin, a pole vaulter on that track team we just mentioned. But Chicatano will give it to Champlin, and he hangs on to the football for a pickup of maybe about a half a yard, and it'll be 3rd and short for the Huskies.
I was watching Chicatano before the game kind of spin the ball a little bit. He's got a little bit of zip on that, and he can put it deep. Hasn't really shown anything right here in this game yet. They've been trying to keep it on the ground. Might come up for a situation here.
Well, Biffle will check back into the game. But a multitude of options here on 3rd and 3. You see the time and score on the TireRack.com scoreboard at the bottom of your screen. The 65th renewal of this parochial rivalry. Ross in motion, but it's Biffle off the left side. Biffle gets stacked up, and he did not get the first down. Doran Brooks comes in from the middle linebacker position and makes the hit after a gain of 1, and decision time now for Ben Downey.
Yeah, Brooks came up to the line of scrimmage and stuffed Biffle right there, able to pick up only 1 yard. It's going to be about a yard and a half on 4th down.
We've got an injured player on the field. We'll pause for 30 seconds. You're watching Sports Michiana's Game of the Week.
My name's Elizabeth, and I've been a member of the Notre Dame Credit Union for about 37 years. I had been driving a Prius, and I like the Prius. But unfortunately, I live on a hill, and when it snows, I had a problem. So I called the credit union, told them I needed a new car. We did everything over the phone and the internet, picked up the car, and it was all done in less than a week. I would recommend the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union without question.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Tire Rack. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be. Franco Biffle, the injured player, is walking off under his own power after being tended to by the training staff. But he won't be in for this key fourth down play. 4th and 1 for the Huskies with 1:49 to go in the first quarter. And they put Connor Gallagher, the young man that transferred down from Lansing Catholic, into the game. And he'll line up as a tight end.
The Huskies have not yet got it across midfield, so they're trying to get across midfield here. See if they can do it. See if Marian's defense can come up with a big stop.
4th and 1. It's Champlin off the left side. He's got the first down. It's sponsored by K2 Power Solutions. That left side of the offensive line led by Nick Ortiz, and Will Trinter just bowled people out of the way that time.
Yeah, here you can see on the OSMC replay, they did a great job of getting that surge. Easy first down pickup there with that offensive surge up front.
And they had also put the aforementioned Mr. Gallagher over there, and he's no wallflower at 6'2", 195. Gallagher split wide to this side now on 1st and 10 at the Marian 47. And Chicatano wants to throw out to Champlin. Champlin cuts it up the field and is brought down from behind after a pickup of 5. Doran Brooks has been all over the field the early going for Marian.
Yeah, he has to be. He's got to go side to side and up the middle as well. He needs to make a lot of tackles and really cover a lot of ground for this Marian defense.
Pickup of 5 on the play. It's 2nd and 5. As we mentioned, St. Joe's deepest possession of the night. Chicatano now 4 out of 5 throwing the football for 30 yards. Could be the final play of the first quarter. And they'll give it to Champlin again, but this time he's greeted rather rudely by Supi Sete right at the line of scrimmage. Sete had a fumble recovery earlier in the game and had 7 tackles in Marian's win over Culver Academy. That's going to do it for the first quarter of play at Father Bly Field. No score between St. Joseph and Marian. You're watching the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
That ends the first quarter with your score. St. Joe 0, Marian 0.
Founded in 2001 by brothers Sam and Levi, Reliance has built a reputation for excellence, providing high-quality home building and renovation services to the Michiana area. From single-room renovations like kitchens and bathrooms to building your dream home from the ground up, everything benefits from their decades of experience. From concept to completion, Reliance makes even the largest projects simple and hassle-free. To find out more, visit RelianceDBR.net. Reliance. Design, build, renovate.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. And our second quarter being brought to us by the St. Joseph County Police Department. St. Joseph looking at a 3rd and 5 here on the first play of the quarter. Let's go to the action on the field. It's an end around here. And it'll be Ryan Roskowski on the carry, and he stumbles down at the 18-yard line after a first down sponsored by K2 Power Solutions. Let's get another look, if we can, on the OSMC replay.
Great job blocking with the receivers out front. Great job by Roskowski getting up, breaking a tackle. You can see the speed. Just got tripped up. Actually hit both of his feet together is what tripped himself up. If not, that would have been 6 for the Huskies.
So instead, St. Joe looking at a first down inside the red zone for the first time tonight. Good news, Franco Biffle back in the game here for St. Joe. And he's in at tailback. And it's Biffle off the left side again, dodging tacklers. Biffle inside the 10 all the way down to the 6-yard line for a first down, sponsored by K2 Power Solutions.
Great job by Biffle getting right back in there, giving him the ball in the first play. He gets back in there, goes right up the middle, breaks a few tackles, and shows his determination that he has.
The St. Joe students let go a bunch of baby powder there at the end of the first quarter. It smells very clean here at Father Blythe Field. Chickatano taking his time at the line of scrimmage. Play clock under 10. Chickatano gives it off. Biffle into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Joe. The touchdown sponsored by Edward Jones advisor Lindsey Downey. Franco Biffle finds pay dirt for the second time this season. And they'll powder up at St. Joe.
OSMC replay. You can see him going off that left side. Blockers up front, sustaining. Marian not able to get any penetration up through the end there. And Biffle able to just run right off the edge.
Ryder Place on to try the extra point, sponsored by Place Homes. Ryder is 12 of 13 on PAT attempts this year. Sam Chickatano is his holder. The snap, set down, and kick are all good. 10:42 to go in the first half, and it's St. Joseph on the board first. They lead Marian 7-0 on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by McKinnis Realty. It's realty with a purpose. Now we go downstairs for a Patrick Sideline report. Angelo Di Carlo, your thoughts on this one so far?
Well, I think for St. Joe, there was a lot of adjustment in that first quarter of play. They had some adversity last week when they faced New Prairie because they had a state championship team, the 30-year anniversary of the 95 team being honored. They had adversity early in the game, had to come back and ultimately won big. But this is a different type of adversity. As we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, the emotions in the Holy War are so strong, and you saw that early on. A lot of laundry on the field, in particular in that first quarter against the Huskies. So I think they had to settle in and get it together. They were able to move the ball if it wasn't for those penalties, and then that drive obviously really pounding it down the throat of the Knights for the touchdown.
The kickoff sponsored by Place Homes, and it is fair caught by Braden Cerny. And it'll be decent field position here for the Marian Knights at their own 35.
Just a little pooch kick. St. Joe trying to switch it up a little bit. Don't want Marian to return anything big, bust any long kickoff returns back or anything. And I think they rely on their defense. They can really stand up.
Well, the defense has been outstanding so far for St. Joe tonight. They have held Marian to minus 15 yards rushing and only 2 yards of total offense in the first quarter. Denny Gruber has barely had a chance to touch the football tonight. The top rusher for this Marian team. He's not going to touch it here. Nobody else will besides Mitchell Thimble because, again, the blitz comes in and Mason Kazmerzak is having himself a night. That's his second sack of the night.
This St. Joe D is just busting through that Marian Knight offensive line like it's butter. Just coming on in, getting the sack, getting the tackles for loss every single series.
2nd and 18. And it's Lucas Marr actually in at quarterback now for Marian. Marr and Fimble have been taking turns. Marr will pitch it out to Vinny Gruber, and Vinny sees nothing going to the left, and there wasn't anything better on the right. Connor Gallagher comes in and makes the stop this time, and it's a loss of 3. And Marian has had fewer plays go forward than they have back.
Hey, you want to help your team look great? It's Tops can help. They are the official outfitter for a number of local schools and even Sports Michiana. And they can do more than just clothes. Learn more at itstops.net.
Marian has had only one positive yardage rushing play tonight. They have had 6 negative yardage rushing plays. Marr to throw, again under pressure. Lobs it out. Gruber can't come up with it. That time it was Alfred Fultz, the nose tackle, coming in to get in the face of Marr.
At halftime, we'll chat with our Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher. Tony is a lifelong resident of Michiana and a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets. If you need insurance, Tony is your guy. Google Tony Letcher, Health Markets to connect.
So another punt sponsored by Marian High School as Oliver Sager comes on to do the kicking. And James Crenity is the deep man for St. Joe back at his 41-yard line.
We want to give a shout-out to J Mill Packaging. They're the first down sponsors for the first half for Marian. J Mill Packaging.
Bad snap. Sager on it in the end zone, and he'll be tackled for a safety. 9-0 St. Joseph as the Huskies' Charlie Moran makes the stop of the end zone, and the score sponsored by Edward Jones advisor Lindsey Downey. You get another look at that one going through the legs of Sager. But special teams have been big for St. Joe this year. And as our Andrew Weiss with the Knights of Columbus factoid will tell you here, they have had special teams. St. Joe has either scored or set up a touchdown with a special teams play in each game this season. Ben Downey's team does it again right here.
Yeah, I mean, 4 weeks in a row they've actually scored or set up a score with their special teams. I mean, that says a lot about the 3 phases that you have, your offense, defense, and they always talk about special teams, how much do you work on it, and it can be a game changer. And tonight, changed things just a little bit. Now they go up by 2 scores, and they get the ball back.
So a 9-0 St. Joseph lead, and as Bo mentioned, they'll get the ball back, and they'll get it back with really good field position.
Have a craving for a Dairy Queen Blizzard, but
Yes.
don't want to leave the house? I do too. DQ delivers. Download that app. Download the DQ app and enjoy exclusive deals and beat the line when going 2-person to Frick's Dairy Queen on South Michigan Street in South Bend.
Sounds good right about now. It's a warm night here in South Bend, and even with the sun setting, it still feels a little bit more like summertime than autumn. The kick here sponsored by Marian High School. Oliver Sager will do a kickoff style with Ryan Ruskowski, number 10, and James Crenity, number 7, back deep for the Huskies. High spinning kick. It'll be Ruskowski dropping it at the 30. Picks it back up and has room on the left side. Ruskowski into Marian territory at the 34-yard line. It's Gage McHugh who makes a touchdown-saving tackle for the Knights.
Locally owned, going back 4 generations, Place Homes in South Bend has a team of players, architects, and designers ready to work for you on building your dream home today. Visit placehomes.net for more information. Place Homes, building homes, not houses. Go St. Joe.
I know St. Joe has been pounding it out on the ground, but you wonder right here, Ben Downey is tempted to go for the kill shot and a deep shot down the field here with Chickatana.
You get these turnovers and change of directions quick like that, and this is one of those opportunities to hit the deep shot right here. A lot of times it happens, and it's successful.
And they are. They're going to try to throw it down the field. Chickatano rotating back to his left, throws it. Gallagher, what a catch!
Wow.
The transfer from Lansing Catholic shows great hands as he reaches back and snares it at the 18-yard line for a first down, sponsored by K2's Power Solutions.
What a great job of reaching back for that ball. If he was able to be hit in stride here, you can see on the OSMC replay, just a great job by Chickatani rolling out. Just look at that body control. Great job of reaching back, controlling that ball. Big first down for St. Joe, and they're inside the red zone again.
Give him 15 on the pickup. Now they go to Franco Biffle, left side. Biffle like a rambling horse into the end zone for the touchdown. Franco Biffle from 19 yards out. The touchdown sponsored by Edward Jones advisor Lindsey Downey.
Again, great job by Biffle running off that left side. Good job up front. Great job following the blocks and really getting up there. And he was just running over DBs now. A lot of confidence in Biffle.
He's a big kid, 6'1", 190. Down on the field watching him before the game. He looks even bigger than that.
Yeah, I mean, you put those pads on and the speed that he has and the drive that he has of being injured the last year and stuff, I think that really motivates him as well.
Absolutely. Place Home sponsors the extra point from Ryder Place. The snap, the set down, but the block by Marian as it looked like Doran Brooks got a hand on it, or maybe Caden Lee. I think it might have been Lee that got a hand on it, so the extra point is no good. 8:15 to go, first half. 15-0 St. Joseph on Sports Michiana.
Still wrestling with wire spools? Tap out. Babsco's got this. Meet the Spool Pro. Wire spooling made simple. It handles large reels with ease. Built for durability and convenience because your time matters. Save time and reduce waste with precision. Customizable settings for any job, big or small. Don't wait for innovation. It's already here. Built smarter and stronger with you in mind. Call Babsco to get yours today.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week brought to you in part by Tony Letcher with Health Markets. That's the right coverage at the right price.
Locally owned Central Automotive in downtown South Bend is your answer for oil changes, brakes, air conditioning repair, general maintenance, and more. Check them out at Lafayette and Colfax. Central Automotive, we're here for all your automotive needs.
We get ready for another Place Homes kickoff. Ryder Place to do the honors here for St. Joseph, which after a scoreless first quarter has taken a 15-0 lead. And Marian desperate to make something happen. Maybe they can do it here on special teams with Terrence Lane back deep. He has been the one player that's been able to make some positive things happen tonight.
Well, I think that's why they kicked away from him last time, and they might do it again here.
And they do. A high spinner. That'll be fielded over on the far side at the 18-yard line. And a nice job on the return by Parker Mrozinski as he is able to get up to apparently the 34-yard line, 16 yards on the return. But scoring against this St. Joe defense, not easy to do in the middle quarters, as our friend Andrew Weiss with the Knights of Columbus will tell us with this factoid. St. Joe with the donut defense, because there's been nothing in the middle this year for opposing teams. They haven't given up a point in either the second or third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they've just done a great job of really making those adjustments after the first quarter, and really did a good job tonight as well. And right from the start, they've been dominant. They've been flying to the ball, and they have given this Marian Knights offense nothing at all to give.
Mitchell Thimble, a three-sport athlete, in the game now at quarterback. He'll send Lane in motion, and they'll give it to Vinny Gruber, and Gruber manages to go off the left side and pick up about 3 or 4 yards. And that's one of the better gains of the night for the Knights.
A family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. Christensen Furniture is located on McKinley and Mishawaka. Customer service is their hallmark. They make sure you make the right choice by offering free design service at your home or in the store. Christensen Furniture, where affordability meets style.
Jackson Troster on the tackle that time for St. Joseph. It's 2nd and 7. Approaching the 7.5-minute mark left here in the first half. Lane in motion again. And they'll give it to him on a nice counter play. And look at Terrence Lane all the way down to the 49-yard line. First down sponsored by J-Mill Packaging. Very fortunate for St. Joseph that they didn't get called. Oh, there is the flag for the horse collar.
Yep, they look like a horse collar or face mask. Flag came in very, very late. You can see right there, pulls him down from the back. Very dangerous on that. It's going to be a 15-yarder and a first down sponsored by J-Mill Packaging in Mishawaka. They're always rooting for Marian. They're founded in 1973. J-Mill Packaging is one of the nation's leading box and packaging manufacturers. If you need custom packages, visit boxpackaging.com.
So Marian in St. Joe territory for the second time tonight, this time at the 45-yard line. Michael Davidson getting the ball to Terrence Lane here on a couple of plays, and it's Lane in motion again. But this time it's Vinny Gruber off the right side, and guess who gets him again? Mason Kazmierzak. He is all over the field tonight.
Mason Kazmierzak with the tackle.
Kazmierzak, an outstanding lacrosse player at St. Joe. He was an Indiana High School lacrosse all-star this year and the captain of the Huskies. No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10.
St. Joe really likes, or Marian really likes to try to spread their offense out and really try to make space, but St. Joe hasn't allowed it at all tonight.
And St. Joe just bringing tons of people up by the line of scrimmage. They have 10 players within 5 yards of the ball. Fimble tries to cut it back himself, and Alfred Fultz would not let go. Fultz, the big senior nose tackle, came into the game with 19 stops on the year, and his 20th is a painful one for Fimble.
Alfred Fultz.
Jack Keegan coming up, helping out with the big hit. Here you can see on the OSMC replay, just coming up and laying the wood.
3rd and 9.
Marian looking at a 3rd and 9. The Lane brothers, Terrence and Terrell, along with Jason Simonowski, all split to the left. Play clock under 10. Now at 5. Fimble just did get it off. Now he heaves it down the sidelines, and that's just twisting in the wind, and now a late flag comes in, and I think we might have a pass interference on St. Joseph.
Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic in Granger is a family-focused practice that treats newborns to professional athletes and everyone in between. They offer high-level chiropractic care, digital x-ray diagnostics, and non-surgical spinal decompression. Google Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic to learn more.
The 4th major penalty against St. Joe here in the first half. Ben Downey's team now with 58 yards in penalties tonight. And this will be another first down sponsored by J-Mill Packaging. As Marian will get the ball down at the 30-yard line, or actually the 29. Knights trailing 15-0 here midway through the second. Drive started back at the Marian 34. Fimble again bleeding the play clock. They'll give it to Vinny Gruber, and Alfred Fultz makes first contact and then had plenty of help finishing him off.
St. Joe High School provides an exceptional, award-winning Catholic education that prepares students to serve God, the church, and the world. With the recent expansion of school choice, tuition is more affordable than ever. Join the pack and become a Husky by visiting stjohigh.com.
Vinny Gruber, who came into the game with 228 yards rushing, has had 5 carries for -3 tonight.
He has had no room to run at all. As soon as he gets the ball, he's being hit in the backfield, it seems like.
Timeout called by Marian. It's sponsored by DeWalt Fluid Power. Back in 30 on Sports Michiana.
Yes, I was just in a bad car accident. I need help.
I'm in a call center. How am I supposed to help you? Did you buy this insurance over the interweb?
Yes.
You think this can wait till after my lunch break?
No, your lunch can wait.
When this happens, you'll understand why it's important to have a local agent. The Lilliard Insurance Agency is just that agency. We're a local agency and we're here to take care of you. Call the Lilliard Agency today.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week being brought to you by Reliance. They're uniquely crafted to fit your lifestyle. Chuck Freeby, Hundt Angelo Di Carlo back with you at Father Blythe Field. Gorgeous Friday night for football in Michiana. Glad you've joined us for the 65th renewal of this Catholic rivalry between Marian and St. Joseph. Huskies with a 15-0 lead, but Marian driving, 2nd and 11 at the St. Joseph 30.
This is one of their best drives of the night, getting some good positive yardage, picking up some J-Mill Packaging first downs as well. They're doing a good job of it.
3 receivers to the right of Mitchell Fimble here. But it's Vinny Group. Nope, it's Fimble keeping it himself and dragging Connor Gallagher up to the 26-yard line. Pick up a 4 that time for Fimble.
Ferret Custom Roll Forming is the best choice in metal fabrication, provides ISO certified quality with unparalleled service and support. At Ferret Custom Roll Forming, we form value. Learn more at ferretrollforming.com.
Fimble, bright young man. He has a 4.58 GPA, and he finished second at the Regional Science Fair for a study of accuracy of ChatGPT. First of all, I would have to know how to use ChatGPT.
What was that?
Worse yet, know the study of the accuracy of it. Fimble wants to throw. Out of time, and down he goes. A loss of 2 with another sack for Mason Kazmierzak of St. Joseph. I think that's his 3rd sack of the night.
He's been in on sacks, tackle for losses. Not sure what you have, Matt, but I'd put him about 6 or 7 tackles tonight.
Right now, he is making some headway to be our Reliance player of the game, that is for sure.
Hey, a big thank you to Bruno's Pizza at River Park on Mishawaka Avenue for feeding our crew tonight. Stop in, take out, or get delivery from Bruno's Pizza, the best pizza in town since '75.
4th and 9, and Marian will go for it here. Lane in motion, and now a timeout called by Michael Davidson. It is sponsored by DeWalt Fluid Power. 3:05 to go first half. Critical 4th down for the Knights when we return in 30 on Sports Michiana.
Shopping for tires used to really rub me the wrong way. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack's tire decision guide made it easy to find the right tires. Talk about secret sauce. You might ask, well, you bought them. Now how are you going to put them on? No problem. TireRack has thousands of recommended installers. I chose one that does mobile installation. A technician brought the tires right to my house. He's installing them now.
Almost finished, Herb.
Take your time. I'm just marinating. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Patrick, empowering outdoor enthusiasts since 1959. The Marian student section with a whiteout across the way. They've got the baby powder going as well. Poor little Charlie coming up this weekend. We might not be able to find any powder at the drugstores for him.
I'm telling you what, you'll smell like it because we definitely smell like it in here in the booth. We can get it blowing in from both directions right now.
So 4th and 9 for Marian. This time they go 3 receivers to the left of Mitchell Fimble. Simonowski's been quiet tonight, but he has 4 catches on the year. Do they go to the big fella here? Fimble looking that way. Fires for him, and it is broken up and incomplete. Jack Keegan had the coverage and stayed with Simonowski step for step.
Yeah, just a great job of staying with Simonowski step for step, breaking that up. They both had a shot at it still at the end. Here you can see on the OSMC replay. Ball thrown behind him just a tad on that. If it was thrown in front, could have had something, but it gives St. Joe 3 minutes here, 2 minutes and 59 seconds to put some more points on the board.
And I believe Ben Downey has 2 timeouts remaining here, so plenty of time for an offense that is used to throwing the football a little bit. Sam Chicatano has had a nice evening tossing it around. He's 5 out of 6 so far for 45 yards, but they'll keep it on the ground with Franco Biffle, and why not? He just runs over his own man that time for a first down, sponsored by K2 Power Solutions to the 40.
At Marian, they live with the motto, learn, serve, lead. Discover a curriculum that fosters academic excellence, service opportunities that make a difference, and leadership training that empowers. Join to grow in faith and character. Visit marianhs.org to learn more.
8 carries, 67 yards for Biffle here in the first half. Chicatano throws it to Biffle this time. Got him out in space. He'll take it forward for 9 yards short of the first down. It'll be 2nd and 1.
They'll probably hurry up to the line, getting the play in as fast as they can.
A gain of 9.
That's his 2nd catch of the night.
Taking an awful lot of time on this play.
And Biffle coming out. Matt Champlin will come back in. Chicatano making sure that he knows the play on 2nd and 1. And it's Champlin right up the middle First down for the shifty little running back. He gets a push from his offensive line and goes another 5 yards for a first down, sponsored by K2 Power Solutions. 10 yards on the game for Champlin.
Ferret Custom Roll Forming, the best choice in metal fabrication, serving a variety of industries including solar, appliances, conveyor systems, chassis, and structural components to decorative trim. Learn more at ferretrollforming.com. We form value.
Graniti and Downey line up to the left of Chickatano. Champlin remains in the game at running back. Under 90 seconds to go in the half. And it's Champlin going up the middle. Champlin with a first down inside to the 30-yard line. An 11-yard gain for the backup running back.
A nice job again on picking up the K2 Power Solutions first down for the Huskies. They're just rolling right now on this drive.
The offensive line, Nick Ortiz, Will Tritter, Zach Hardy, Fletcher Schmidt, and Jaden Snavely are just bull rushing people out of the way right now. It's been primarily the left side tonight, and that's the way they'll go with Antoine Ross. And Ross is tackled by Seth Kerzeder, as well as Parker Mrzinski that time for Marian.
Parker Mrzinski did a great job of really coming up and containing right there, not letting St. Joe get outside. Timeout by St. Joe, sponsored by Crimmins Carpet Services.
Back with more in 30 on Sports Michiana. And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless.
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union is the financial institute of choice for Sports Michiana, plus hundreds of churches and schools. Utilize their unique Elevate tools to help raise funds and drive your mission. Go to NotreDameFCU.com/Elevate to learn more.
Chickatano wants to threw it behind his intended receiver. He was looking for Antoine Ross, and it's really the first time tonight that Sam has thrown a bad ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty close to on target. That one about 4 or 5 feet behind his target.
It does stop the clock with 42 seconds left, but the problem for St. Joe right now is they're looking at 3rd and 9, and this would be a major ask of Ryder Place for a 46-yard field goal. They got to get about 10 yards closer.
I'm sure his dad, Andy, would like to see him try it, though.
Chickatano moving his receivers around and rolls to the right. Had Downey for a moment, didn't see him, and now Chickatano decides to run for it, and he runs out of bounds well short of the first down at the 26-yard line for a pickup of 4.
Gives us a chance to tell you about the 13-7 Foundation, honoring former Jimtown football player Deacon Dillenbeck, who died tragically in 2024 at the age of 19. Deacon loved the vocational trades, and the 13-7 Foundation awards scholarships for those looking to enter the trades. Search 13-7 Foundation on Facebook for more information on how you can support them.
Ben Downey will take a timeout. It's sponsored by Crimmins Carpet Services. We'll keep it right here and remind you that next Friday night, what a showdown we have in the Northern Lakes Conference. A pair of top 10 teams in Class 5A go head-to-head. They may be reunited come playoff time, but the regular season matchup at Fisher Field should be a dandy. Number 9, Concord, takes on number 8, Warsaw. We're on the air with a pregame show at 6:45, kickoff at 7. And we do hope you'll join us then on Sports Michiana.
Oh, what a game that's going to be next week as well. We got a game here tonight, the Holy War between St. Joe and Marian, both going at it. St. Joe trying to put up a few more points here before half on 4th down. Looks like they are going to line up with Ryder Place.
This would be a 43-yard field goal attempt. He is 1 for 3 on field goals this season. We've talked about the special teams for St. Joe having been special. This would be a nice capper to the half if Place could knock this home. Sam Chickatano, the quarterback, is the holder, so just you have to be alert for the fake, and I think Marian is too. They've got 3 guys back deep. Place with the kick. Ooh. It is on its way, and it is no good. He missed it to the left.
Had the distance, just pushed it a little bit to the left.
It's no good.
Looked like Chickatano got hit a little bit.
And that's what the St. Joseph players are talking to John Rogan and the official about as they come off the field. So Marian is able to hold up there, and for as poorly as things have gone for Michael Davidson's team, they're only down 2 scores.
Yeah, and, I mean, they can get right back in it. They get the ball they receive the ball first half.
So they're going to have to come up with a big defensive stand here early in the second half,
and they can't afford a pick 6 or anything here either, so they need to take care of the football, and it looks like they are.
Both teams are out of timeouts. Lucas Marr has come into the game at quarterback. But I would be very surprised if Michael Davidson tried to hit something deep here. With 29 seconds left, you never know. He is going to let Marr throw it, and Marr is nearly picked off.
I didn't say it, did I?
You did.
The Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend Catholic Schools is proud of St. Joe and Marian High Schools and the opportunities they both provide families in developing their children spiritually and academically. The Catholic Schools Office also thanks families for choosing Catholic schools. Enrollment is up across the diocese with more than 14,000 students being served.
The young man that nearly got the pick 6, Madden Martin, he is a transfer from Detroit Jesuit. He already has an offer from Alabama State. That's noteworthy because he's only a sophomore, and that ball is picked by Jack Keegan at the 24. Right off the hands of the receiver and right into the hands of Keegan.
By Jack Keegan for the Huskies.
Wow. His second interception of the season. You'll get another look from OSMC.
Just another high throw off the receiver's hands, giving the DBs an opportunity for the tip drill, and they took advantage of it the second time around.
Now, no timeouts left. You have to think St. Joe is going to try to air it out here and get this ball into the end zone.
Big C Lumber is the best choice for your next home improvement project. Family owned for over 100 years. They know the ins and outs of every home project you need completed, and our knowledgeable sales staff will help you get the job done. See the difference a culture of caring can make at Big C Lumber.
Anthony Gooby is in the game now, the transfer from Adams playing quarterback. And it's Gooby looking for somewhere to go, and he is flushed out of bounds, chased by Cruziter. And Gooby goes out of bounds at the 21-yard line after a pickup of 3.
Hey, you're looking to buy or sell a home? McInnes Realty is where service comes first. Family and veteran-owned, they're proudly serve our community heroes through the Homes for Heroes program, helping you save when you buy or sell. Learn more at McInnesRealty.com.
There doesn't appear to be anything wrong with Sam Chickatano. He's right by one of the coaches on the sidelines and has his helmet on. But they have had Gooby in the game frequently during the season. And Gooby wants to throw again. Steps up in the pocket. Scrambling. Unleashes it to the end zone, and it is incomplete. It's broken up by Terrence Lane. They were looking for Dallas Downey.
Incomplete in the end zone.
It'll be third down.
I think it was just a great job of really scrambling, trying to find something open, getting down to Downey. Just threw it just a little late down to Downey in the back of the end zone. Chickatani comes back in at quarterback.
Well, he's going to be the holder for Ryder Place. They're going to try another field goal attempt here. This one will be a little bit closer at 38 yards.
Down to 10 seconds already on the play clock.
Not much of a breeze here tonight, so that shouldn't be a factor. They do get it off. The kick is on its way, and this one is short. So Place unable to make either field goal attempt. The kick attempt sponsored by Place Homes. And the first half has come to an end here at Father Bly Field in South Bend, with St. Joseph leading Marian by a score of 15-0. But I dare say it feels like the Huskies probably should be leading by a lot more. Angelo Di Carlo is hoping to get a Patrick sideline report with Ben Downey, but Ben Downey is out to have a word with John Rogeman and the rest of the officials as they leave the field. I think he wanted to know if there should have been some sort of penalty against Marian with the contact against Chickatano on the previous kick.
Yeah, I think it was that in place. They hit Ryder Place a little bit as well. I think it's the last two plays, last two kicks. He's a little bit concerned on it.
We're still hoping to be able to get a chance to chat with Ben Downey here. But Ben having a prolonged discussion with the officiating corps, and a rather animated one at that.
Yeah, you don't see this very often.
So it looks like that is concluded. And Angelo Di Carlo, we go down to you for a Patrick sideline report.
All right, Coach, let's talk positives first. You're up 15-0 at halftime. Your thoughts on being up here in the Holy War at halftime?
It's a heck of a lot better than being down at halftime. We did some really good things. Super impressed with our defense, and at times our offense is really good as well. We just have to limit our mistakes, and there's some other things out there that just don't seem to be going our way right now.
Obviously, there is frustration in that regard, but let me ask you about the penalties in terms of just you wanted to make sure you guys didn't have self-inflicted, and early on you did that. How important of an emphasis is that for your kids in the second half?
Well, it will always be an emphasis. And we were not victims the entire first half, so we did do some things that deserve penalties, and we have to clean that type of stuff up. And then overall, we just have to keep moving regardless of what happens out there and what's called.
Coach, thank you very much. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, guys, very diplomatic. Ben Downey made sure he said the right things there because penalties was what he was discussing with the referees, and he wasn't pleased with some of their decisions in that regard.
Our favorite customer halftime report is next on Sports Michiana.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. They offer corporate, sales, and retirement awards, along with personalized gifts and promotional products. Crown Trophy, nationally known, locally owned, where everyone's a winner.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
We are at halftime of the Holy War, and it is time now for our Tony Letcher Student Athletes of the Week. And we have a pair of senior defensive linemen with us here today, Charlie Gruey from St. Joe and Seth Kerzeder from Marian. We'll start with Seth, who is a member of the football team, of course, also plays rugby. He's captain of the football team. He's involved in youth group, an altar server, and has a 4.651 GPA. That is a perfect GPA at Marian High School right now. How do you make that all work?
Just giving my best effort to every single thing I do. There's a lot of late nights. Like I said, just giving everything I can to each thing and not slacking. So,
you want to be a pilot. You are actually training to be a pilot at the moment, and you're going to go to Purdue to maybe be a commercial pilot or in the military. Tell us a little bit about what you love about aviation and why you want to be a pilot.
Yeah, I love the freedom. I love driving stuff. So, flying is like the ultimate form of driving for me. I've loved it since as long as I can remember. It's just always been a part of who I am and who God created me to be. So
we can feel that excitement in you right now. What does being a Marian Knight mean to you? Because I imagine that's who you are too.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, it means so much in my faith, my brotherhood. It's just a big family at Marian, I love it there. And also, just everybody there just formed me to who I am today and who I am in Christ. So,
Seth, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Charlie Gruey is a senior at St. Joseph High School, a member of the football team and basketball team, has a 4.4 GPA. How do you balance everything?
Well, it's really discipline, making sure I'm staying on task every night, getting that homework done, getting that schoolwork done, and showing up every day doing my best and trying to be the best version of myself.
Hasn't been always easy for you. You have had to battle through a lot of injuries to your legs in particular. I don't know, maybe some other ones as well. But I know you're a big man of faith. How has your faith helped you get through all the injuries you've had to overcome?
Well, I know God's going to take care of me. Through God, anything is possible. And I know that with all my dreams and all my aspirations, God's going to take care of me, and he's going to, lead me through that path.
What was the toughest part of going through the injuries?
Well, watching my boys out here working every day, getting better, something I strive to do every single day. Well, it was really hard for me. Seeing other people doing what I love is, as you can take away, it's very hard. So, not being with them, not sharing these special moments with them was definitely hard.
Being a St. Joe Husky, what does that mean to you?
Well, it's brotherhood, These guys are some of the best dudes I've ever grown up with, and being with them, working with them, it means so much to me. And these games don't mean anything without these guys, so it's really these guys.
Charlie, thank you very much. Congratulations. Seth, congratulations one more time. Seth Kerzeder, Charlie Gruey, our Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher with Health Markets. We have your halftime highlights on the 65th edition of the Holy War right after this.
My name is Chuck. I'm a member of Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. The flexibility of having a HELOC made it simple to add items as we were going through the process of updating our house. So we didn't have to do everything at once. We could do it a little at a time as things changed, which made it flexible for us to use builders when they had downtime and get better prices for them. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
Mom, it's happening again. The internet froze. It's just buffering over and over.
Sounds like we need faster internet.
Back to school starts with better internet. Get Surf Fiber Fast Internet today for just $30 a month with AutoPay. Visit surfinternet.com.
What have you been doing?
Looking for a new internet provider.
You should get Surf. They're really good. No contracts or hidden fees and price lock for life.
Okay, I'm in.
Get Surf Fiber Fast Internet today for just $30 a month with AutoPay. Visit surfinternet.com.
Founded in 2001 by brothers Sam and Levi, Reliance has built a reputation for excellence, providing high-quality home building and renovation services to the Michiana area. From single-room renovations like kitchens and bathrooms to building your dream home from the ground up, everything benefits from their decades of experience. From concept to completion, Reliance makes even the largest projects simple and hassle-free. To find out more, visit RelianceDBR.net. Reliance. Design, build, renovate.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless. Halftime here in downtown South Bend, where St. Joseph leads Marian by a count of 15-0. On the Ferret Custom Roll Forming halftime show, we welcome you inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Chuck and Bo high above the fray. Domination is the word that describes that first half.
Yeah, it definitely is. We had a lot of baby powder thrown in our face by that St. Joe student body because they scored a lot and they had a lot of first downs in that half. Total domination. I mean, defensive-wise, they really shut Marian down.
Yeah, the white in our hair isn't anything to do with age. It's baby powder. Let's take a look at the halftime highlights brought to us by our friends at Tom's Car Care Center. And it was the defensive domination early on as Mason Kazmierzak goes in for one of his 3 sacks of the night. That helped set up Franco Biffle for his first touchdown of the evening. It was 7-0 St. Joseph. After a bad snap made it 9-0. Kazmierzak continued to close in on the quarterback. He had 3 sacks in the first half, and then Biffle with a powerful 19-yard run. That's a candidate for play of the game from Big C Lumber as he takes it on in 15-0 at the intermission. Well, athletic success, nothing new for the St. Joseph Huskies, especially coming off of last year's basketball season when they won the boys basketball state championship. The head coach of that team is standing by with Angelo Di Carlo.
All right, thank you very much, Chuck. Coach Gaff, obviously coming off a state championship win. You're building now for a new season, but take us back to a season ago and just the excitement of bringing that state championship to St. Joe.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's hard to relive as much as I already do, trying to stay in the present when you want to go back and just enjoy that hype that we had for a while. And the good thing is those guys that were there and had that taste of success are now, in the gym working twice as hard because they want to do it again.
How hard is that to now adjust? Obviously, there's a whole different set of expectations now around the program. How hard has that been, or has it been easy to get guys to believe in what they have to do to try to repeat?
I'll be honest, I was a little nervous about it. Success tends to breed laziness because you did it and you go, okay, I can rest now. But to my guys' credit, they did a great job. I mean, they were in the gym the next week, talking about what they needed to do to get ready and be able to compete at a 4A championship. And the summer and now into the preseason here in the fall has been great. Our guys that have been returners have really stepped up, been great leaders. And again, when you have a player-led team, you're going to be pretty good.
You mentioned moving up to Class 4A. How much of a challenge will that be in comparison to a year ago in 3A?
Yeah, I mean, it's just bigger dogs. We went down to Charlie Hughes in the summer, and we played all 4A schools, and they all have a guy that looks like me, 6'10". I'm going, gee, where are these kids coming from? But we love the challenge. We like the excitement it brings, and we're excited to get into it.
You have a lot of pieces back. You have a lot of pieces coming in. Do you feel like you have a squad that can make another run?
Yeah, I think we're confident we'll be able to be competitive. And, if we play our cards right, I think by the time March gets there, we'll be tough to go against.
What does this mean to you to be the head coach at St. Joe? Obviously, you had a long professional career, went overseas. To come back, you were an assistant under Mark Johnson. Now you win a state championship. Bringing it full circle, what has this meant to you over the last couple of years to really fulfill that dream of winning a state championship?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe I'll think about that in 30 years. But right now, I'm just trying to stay with my guys and push them to get better. And, there's moments where you get to relive it. You look at the banner up in the gym and you see the guys looking up at it. But I think ultimately it's just exciting to see the guys be successful.
All right, my neck's starting to hurt, so we'll end the interview there because I can't look up anymore. That's Eric Gapp, the head coach of the St. Joe boys basketball team, defending state champions in Class 3A. We'll send it back upstairs to you guys.
That's a pretty good job of camera work there by Ryan Fitzpatrick, getting both Angelo and Eric Gaff in the same shot that close. Hey, it's time for the McInnes Realty Around the Area High School Football Scoreboard. Couple of surprises on here. One of them might be the fact that Bremen leads LaVille 7-6 at the half. Jeff Kaiser's team had been playing pretty well. Plymouth on top of Goshen 30-7 at halftime. Tippecanoe Valley leads Knox 7-6 second quarter. Steve Moriarty's team gave the Redskins fits last year. Here's another surprise. Northwood on top of Mishawaka 19-10 at the half.
NLC, what a conference.
The Panthers are trying to show people they're for real. Concord leading Northridge 21-0 at the half. Elkhart on top of Riley 25-0 at the half. Rochester leading Wabash 34-7 at the half. Same score Warsaw over Wawasee. Also at halftime, Culver Community leads Winnemac 22-14. North of the border, Battle Creek Penfield leads Buchanan at the half 23-18. They're in the second. Dowagiac leads Benton Harbor 43-6. Berrien Springs over Parchment 10-0 at the half. Edwardsburg leading Sturgis 28-0 at the half. Niles leads Paw Paw 8-6 at the half. Scott Shaw's team, maybe not as strong as last year, but still posting W's so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're still playing well. Still, their defense is really holding up as well, as well, keeping those scores low.
St. Joseph leads Caloy Norwich 22-0 at the half. Saugatuck on top of Brandywine 22-6 at the half. Halftime, Coloma leads South Haven 21-14. Delton Kellogg over Waterville leads 7-6 at the half. And Red Arrow leads Bangor in 8-man action 31-0 at the half. Here at halftime, it's St. Joseph 15, Marian nothing. We're back with second half play-by-play from Father Bly Field after this on Sports Michiana.
Let's be honest, shopping for window treatments can be a real pain in the glass. Shades, shutters, blinds, drapes, the options are endless. Avoid expensive mistakes and return shipping with online retailers. Call the local team at Quality Window Treatments. Their entirely local process makes choosing the right look for your space easy. They bring the showroom to you during your in-person consultation. And with hands-off local installation, you never make a measurement. Visit QualityWindowTreatment.com to book your free consultation and see your space in a whole new light.
When contractors and OEMs need quality electrical products at the best prices, they look to Babsco Supply. We strive to supply all the electrical products you need for residential, light commercial, and OEM electrical components. We have the knowledge, dedication to customer service, and extensive inventory to ensure your electrical projects are completed successfully. We are employee-owned, which means all of our employees are owners. So you know we care. With locations in Elkhart and Warsaw, Supply is working together to serve you better. Supply is working together to serve you better. Learn more at babsco.com.
Why do our auto insurance rates keep going up? Oh.
Dramatic increases in parts, labor, and medical care are causing auto insurance rates to soar nationwide. Lilliard's Insurance can protect you from auto rate increases with our available rate lock feature. And because Lilliard's Insurance is a local business, you get better service and deal with actual people. Hi, I'm Matt Lilliard. Call or text us today to see if you qualify.
Shopping for tires used to make me want to blow a gasket. That was before I went to TireRack.com.
Tire Rack made it easy to find great tires at a great price. 2 years of free road hazard protection sealed the deal.
Tire Rack has thousands of recommended installers. I chose a mobile installer. Check this out. A technician brought my new tires right to the house. He's installing them now. All set. Thanks. When it's time for new tires, trust the experts. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Looking to buy or sell a home in the Michiana area? Call McInnes Realty, Michiana's fastest growing real estate company where service comes first, built on knowledge, care, and community. Through our Homes for Heroes program, we proudly give back to those who serve. Firefighters, law enforcement, EMTs, military, teachers, and healthcare workers, past or present, qualify for hero rewards when they buy or sell with us. Call McInnes Realty today at 574-271-3440.
For over 100 years, experience and inspiration have been the foundation of Big C Lumber. I'm Mark Young. Deciding on the perfect cabinetry for your home can be overwhelming. It's best to depend on our consultants with decades of experience at Big C Lumber. Your needs and wishes will be matched with our guidance in the creation of new spaces. We call this customer-inspired design, representing your personality, your style. Visit Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Tops Car Care Center, the Coffee Spot Cafe, and the Waterworks Car Wash. 3 great services in one great place. Chuck Freeby, Bo Hundt, the third member of our crew. Angelo Di Carlo down on the sidelines with the Patrick Sideline Report. I can't imagine Michael Davidson was too thrilled with that first half.
No, he wasn't. He very much believes his team can make a comeback in this game if they fix the issues they had in the first half. The main thing he said was, we were dominated up front. I asked him, is that a surprise considering that is one of your expected strengths? He said flat out, yes. But he felt they also made a ton of mistakes out there that they need to fix. And he said they're all fixable. One other note, he stood out there and high-fived every single player as they ran back out onto the field saying, 24 minutes, give me 24 minutes. I've been around in his entire coaching career, back to my days at Redeemer Radio. That's the most I've ever seen him trying to motivate his players in-game. He very much believes they can come back, but he feels that they've got to get into the game mentally as much as anything else.
All right, let's give you a couple updates on the McInnes Realty Around the Area High School Football Scoreboard. Some scores that we didn't have the first time around. Penn is leading South Bend Washington 48-0 at the half. South Bend Adams on top of New Prairie 7-6 in the second quarter at AMC Miller Field. That would be a big win for Frank Karszewski and the Eagles if they could get it, even though New Prairie is down this year. Up in Michigan, it is now a 24-6 Niles lead on Paw Paw in the third. So Scott Shaw's halftime talk got the job done. And Portage Central leads Lakeshore 51-0 at the half. Danny Thompson and the boys struggling up at Lakeshore. Your thoughts on what Marian needs to do differently? Obviously, Anj touched on it. Win the line of scrimmage would be a good place to start.
Well, yeah, and, Coach Davidson come out of the locker room doing that. It shows that they don't quite have their leader in the locker room yet to do that. He's got to do it as the head coach. As the head coach, you expect your captains, your leaders, those are the guys that need to get your guys up. Those guys are the ones that really need to get them motivated. When the coach is doing that, they don't quite have that leadership yet.
Third quarter being brought to us by our friends at Frick's Dairy Queen. James Crinitti, one of the deep men, along with Ryan Roskowski, awaiting the boot from Oliver Sager. And Sager with a little pooch spinning kick that'll be fielded at the 31-yard line by Colin Penn. It's a good field position for St. Joe as they come out, and we'll keep an eye to see whether it's Sam Shikatano or Anthony Gooby at quarterback. It looks like Gooby's going to get the nod here to start the second half.
Our third quarter is sponsored by Frick's Dairy Queen. You have a craving for Dairy Queen Blizzard but don't want to leave the house? DQ delivers. Download the DQ app and enjoy exclusive deals and beat the line when going in person to Frick's Dairy Queen on South Michigan Street in South Bend.
Gooby, a transfer from Adams, whom St. Joe plays next week, by the way. Hands it off to Franco Biffle, who lowers the shoulder and tries to run right over a Marian defender, but Parker Merzinski was up to the task of making the tackle after a pickup of 4.
Biffle does a great job of running downhill, really puts a hurting on those linebackers and DBs when they're just sitting there on their back feet and they're not attacking like they did that on that last play right there.
Biffle now with 9 carries for 71 yards on the night. He is a heck of a baseball player. Played in the Ripken World Series as a youth. They will give it off to Antoine Ross trying to go on the end around, and Ross is bottled up after a pickup of 2.
Antoine Ross brought down.
Good pursuit that time by the Marian Knights.
A 3-yard gain.
Trying to pick up the number on that tackler down there, and it looks like it was Mitchell Thimble.
Third 3 for the Huskies.
So Thimble playing on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Came up with a nice play there, and it's a 3rd and 3 for St. Joe.
An area that Michael Davidson does not like to do very often is have guys play both ways. At this level, they really like guys to play only one way to keep them fresh.
Tommy Alexander now in the game at cornerback for Marian. High snap, Gooby able to corral it, and Kerzeder was being held, so even if this were complete, it's coming back. But it's 4th down. It'll be interesting to see if Michael Davidson takes the holding penalty or forces a 4th and 3 decision.
Yeah, I think at the part of the field they're at, if they were to decline it, be a 4th and a 2.5, 3, they would definitely have to accept that to make it 3rd down and 13, I would say.
Kerzeder had beaten his man off the line of scrimmage, and the only way to keep Gooby upright was to do some holding, which is what the Huskies did right there. 6 penalties for 68 yards tonight for St. Joe. That has been the one big downfall for the Huskies tonight. Charles Gruey, who you saw in that Tony Letcher Health Market student-athlete feature, checks in at tight end. And everybody checking the wristband on 3rd and 13. Gooby moving the chess pieces around. I formation. They'll give it to Antoine Ross in the backfield, and Ross is corralled by Terrence Lane and finally brought down at the 27-yard line. That's a loss of 2 on the play, and punting situation for St. Joe, the kick sponsored by Place Homes.
Peace of mind comes from deliberate preparation and planning. When it comes to estate planning, Peter Horvath Law can help with that peace of mind. If you need a will, trust, living will, or power of attorney, Peter is ready to support you and your family in protecting your assets and passing them on to your family in the future. Learn more at peterhorvathlaw.com and go Knights.
We said late in the first half, Marian was going to have to get a stop here on the first possession of the second half. They've done that. Now can Terrence Lane do anything on the punt return? Place gets the kick off. It's a high spiral that'll hit down at the 40, roll through the legs of a St. Joe player, and die at the 30-yard line. Good job by Place on a 43-yard kick with no return.
Yeah, great job by Place. Marion's got to come up and field that. I know it's in traffic. That's 11 yards they got on the roll there. And you need those 11 yards when you're down 15-0.
So spotted at the 29-yard line, whether it's Mitchell Fimble or Lucas Marr at quarterback, the Marian offense has to do something they didn't do much of in the first half, and that is move the ball down the field.
Carlton has been in business in South Bend for more than 50 years and around the country's leading provider of financial calculation software. While they serve clients throughout the country, Carlton believes in giving back here at home, including supporting St. Joe, where 3 generations of Roskowskis have graduated. Go St. Joe!
After having 10 yards of total offense in the first half, Marian gives it to Vinny Gruber, and Gruber is able to pick up 3 yards on the play. As our friend Andrew Weiss with the Knights of Columbus would tell us in this factoid, Vinny Gruber all season long has been like a human chisel. He has rushed for 228 yards this season, but he has no runs longer than 15 yards on the year.
One of those guys that gets in there, does the dirty work on the inside.
2nd and 6 after the pickup of 4. Gruber now with 7 yards rushing on the night. They'll give it off to Lane on an end around, and Lane uses that speed to get to the outside, knocked out of bounds by Martin at the 38-yard line, a yard short of the first down.
K2 Power Solutions provides cutting-edge industrial, commercial, and renewable electrical solutions. They also want to empower the next generation and make a positive impact on the Michiana community, especially through high school athletics. Go St. Joe from K2 Power Solutions.
3rd and 1. Marian has had its problems running the football tonight. Can they get enough penetration against the St. Joe offensive line to get a big first down here? Sponsored by Marian High School. We've got a player down on the field with a cramp, so we'll take a 30-second timeout on Sports Michiana.
Injury timeout.
For over 100 years, experience and inspiration have been the foundation of Big C Lumber. I'm Mark Young. Deciding on the perfect cabinetry for your home can be overwhelming. It's best to depend on our consultants with decades of experience at Big C Lumber. Your needs and wishes will be matched with our guidance in the creation of new spaces. We call this customer-inspired design, representing your personality, your style. Visit Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by the Lillard Insurance Agency. Real people, real service, real value. 3rd and 1 for Marian after Jack Keegan cramped up and had to leave the game. And it looks like the Knights will try to go with some sort of power formation here to run the ball with Vinny Gruber. And Gruber is able to get the first down, sponsored by Marian High School, as he gets to the 40-yard line to move the chains.
Great job by getting up the field, picking up that first down for Marian. Important drive here we talked about for the Marian Knights. They need to get some good field position. They need to stay on the football field and try to wear down this St. Joe defense a little bit.
They are only down by 2 scores, but they have not been in the red zone yet tonight. They're going with double tights here with Cruziter and Sete on the line of scrimmage. There's a man in motion. That's Simonowski. Marr gets bottled up and thrown down hard by Charlie Moran. And Marr looked as though he was expecting to give the ball to somebody, and there was nobody there.
Yeah, here you can see on the OSMC instant replay, just a broken play, nowhere to go. In that situations, a lot of times you just got to turn, and you'll see quarterbacks follow the running back of who they're supposed to give it to and just follow him in that direction. And he tried to go the opposite way, which no blocking is happening on that side of the ball.
Marr had a big game against St. Joe last year in the win at Atulski Field, but has not been the case here tonight. 2nd and 16 for Marian. Delayed handoff up the middle, and that just gave St. Joe more time to get to the ball. Terrence Lane on the carry again, and he was bottled up by Brendan Lassane, the freshman defensive tackle.
Marian Products has been known for meeting customer metal forming needs for more than 50 years. They support both teams playing tonight, but yeah, they admit they really like Marian. Learn more at marianproducts.com.
3rd and 15. The Lane brothers split wide to the right of Lucas Marr. St. Joe has been able to get pressure from its defensive front all night long. They're coming again, but Terrence Lane makes the catch, spinning down at the 47, a pickup of 12 on the play. 4th and 3, and you have to think Michael Davidson will go for it.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, I'm surprised that in 2nd down they didn't run that play instead of just a little draw up the middle. They're in the situation now where the run's being pretty much stopped at this point. But again, you can't always just go straight to the passing. But they need to hit those playmakers. They need to get some big plays halfway through the 3rd quarter here.
Lane is lined up in the slot. They've got to get to the midfield stripe. Now it's Lane in motion. They give it to Gruber, left side, 1st down and more. There's more than 15 yards for Vinny Gruber. He's still on his feet as he goes down to the 23-yard line. A 30-yard pickup for the Knights, their biggest play of the night.
Huge play for Vinny Gruber and the Marian Knights offense. The 1st down sponsored by Marian High School. Great job. The defenders were just following. They thought it was a pass play, and so the DBs were just following the wide receivers down the field.
Well, the eyes, I think, all followed Lane because he's been the most effective guy tonight. They ran Gruber the other way that time, and it worked on the counter play. So 1st and 10 from the St. Joe 23-yard line for Marian. Lane standing next to Lucas Marr, and Marr keeps it himself on the option, and Connor Gallagher gave him no option.
The Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend Catholic Schools aligning dedicated principals, teachers, and support staff to the mission of the church. This allows each child to experience not only a great academic and safe environment, but one that leads to the development of virtues and holiness.
Gallagher, a young man that has had some chats with Marcus Freeman over at Notre Dame. They haven't tendered an official offer yet. But he is somebody coming down from Lansing Catholic that the Irish may be keeping their eye on. Here's Gruber again off the left side, slashing Gruber all the way inside the 10 to the 9. He has found his gear.
Yes, running a little bit of backside counter action, some little misdirection, getting St. Joe to go one way, and you can see he's cutting back against the grain, doing a great job those last 2 big runs, and another 1st down sponsored by Marian High School for the Knights.
1st and goal for Marian. First time we've been able to say that tonight. Down to the St. Joseph 9. Gruber now with 48 yards rushing on the night. They're starting to run behind Big Prescott Horvath over there on the left-hand side. And Gruber, nope, this time it was Marr keeping it, and he got thrown down by Charlie Gruey back at the 11.
The defensive ends have done a great job for St. Joe of really coming up and eliminating that option play and really going at it. Marr and not allowing him to get any pitch whatsoever. Here you can see on the OSMC replay. Might have got away from a horse collar a little bit right there.
I thought the way he spun around, there could have been a flag coming in, but we did not see one, and it's 2nd and goal from the 11. Might be a situation here where they ask Marr to put it up. And whistles blown, and what do we have?
I think we might have offsides lined up in the neutral zone on St. Joe.
Well, that's a big break for Marian, and yet another self-destructive penalty against the Huskies.
Crimmins Carpet Services has been serving Michiana for more than 35 years. Joe Crimmins and his sister Samantha and Danielle are proud St. Joe alums. They clean for St. Joe and can for your school or business too. Remember, it's not clean until it's Crimmins clean.
You see the clock down there on the scoreboard. We're under 3 minutes to go here in a very fast-moving 3rd quarter. This has been the only possession Marian has had here in the third. They have to capitalize on it right here. It is 2nd and goal at the 6. Gruber greeted in the backfield. Kazmierzak continues his domination of the night.
Every time they've tried to run up the middle, he's been there to stop them all night long. You ain't getting anything up the middle, he said.
Mason Kazmierzak has taken residency in the Marian backfield tonight.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the ground. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you need, Tire Rack makes it easy. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
3rd and goal for the 9. Big play here for the Knights. Simonowski in motion. And again, the whistle's blown, the flag's thrown.
Game.
This one, I think, will be against the Knights for delay of game. You're right.
Took just a little bit too long getting that play in, getting it called, and getting it off.
So now it's 3rd and goal back at the 14. And a field goal doesn't do you a whole lot of good down here. You got to punch it in.
Yeah, they're down a score and a 2-point extra point and a 2-point conversion.
Marr hollering out the play, but the play clock's already down to about 11. Marian might want to consider a timeout here to get itself right. They just did get that one. No, they didn't. And they did have to take a timeout. The timeout is sponsored by DeWalt Fluid Power. 1:46 to go in the third. 15-0 St. Joseph on Sports Michiana.
Ready to be part of our winning team? The St. Joseph County Police Department is hiring, and we are looking for people of all ages who want to make a difference. With a starting salary of $52,000 plus full benefits, including medical, dental, vision, and vacation, you are in control of your future. So whether you're just entering the game or looking for a new position, now is the time to get off the sideline. Learn more today at sjcpd.org.
Learn more about St. Joe Athletics.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Babsco, your trusted electrical distributor.
DeWalt Fluid Power and the DeChico family are always pulling for Marian. DeWalt Fluid Power is a full-service air and hydraulics and tooling components distributor. People you can trust, technology and solutions you deserve. DeWalt Fluid Power.
Downtown South Bend, all lit up for a big football weekend. This is part of it, the holy war between St. Joe and Marian. The Knights looking at a 3rd and 14 at St. Joe territory. Lucas Marr throws in the flat, and it is dropped by Vinnie Gruber.
Had Gruber open in the flats, kind of threw it a little bit on a line there, didn't let him run under a little bit. Still, Gruber being a catcher on the baseball team, he should have had that one.
And a very good catcher, by the way.
Very good. Started as a freshman all year last year.
So 4th and goal. And it's a little early to say the ball game on the line with 1:44 to go in the third, but Marian got it down all the way to the 6, and St. Joe jumps offside to help him out one more time.
Offside, St.
I know
Joe.
Ben Downey was not exactly enamored with a couple of the things that weren't called in the first half, but I thought he made it very clear. They did a lot of things to earn flags in the first half.
Yeah, and it's that aggressive defense that they have, and they're trying to just get off right when that snaps. So they're going to be aggressive on snaps.
Lane in motion. And they give it to him on the end around, but he didn't get there. He is stopped short at the 4-yard line, and St. Joe has held on downs.
Tonight's factoids are brought to you by Andrew Weiss of Knights of Columbus. And Andrew wants you to know this important factoid that many may not realize. The Knights of Columbus do Catholic investments and comprehensive financial planning. Let Andrew Weiss be your guide. Learn more at andrewweisskofc.com.
Sam Chickatano returns to quarterback St. Joe. Anthony Gooby had been in the last 2 series. And so now it's Chickatano with his team pressed back to the 4-yard line. Matt Champlin in the game at tailback. And it's Champlin trying to go up the middle, darting around Marian tacklers and getting to the gates.
Matt Champlin, the ball carrier.
We'll see if Biffle gets back in there. I saw Biffle stretching on the sidelines, kind of like he was cramping up a little bit too, really trying to keep those hips and hamstrings stretched out fully.
The normal number 2 running back, David Waite, out with an injury tonight, and Champlin has filled in like a champion as he has had 30 yards on 5 carries. 2nd and 6. Marian forced a 3 and out on the first possession for St. Joe in the second half. Chickatano keeps it himself, gets around the right side, and he is off to the races as he takes it down to the 31-yard line, maybe the 32. Who had the big block there, Bo?
Oh, that was a big block by Champlin there. Just did a great job of coming out, sealing the corner. And you can see it right there on the OSMC replay. When you seal that corner like that, and allow your running back or quarterback, whoever it is, running to cut up that seam, you can see the big play in the K2 Power Solutions first down.
That's only Chickatano's 5th carry of the year, but it goes for 24 yards and a first down, sponsored by K2 Power Solutions. And they'll give it on the end around to Dallas Downey. He's hauled down from behind. As coming over to make the hit was Doran Brooks, but Downey's able to pick up 8.
Hey, to win in sports, you need to adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Lindsey Downey, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help you create a game plan for financial success. See Lindsey on Bendix Drive in South Bend to get started today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The play clock has more time left on it than the game clock, so the St. Joseph Huskies are going to say that's enough for the third quarter of play. They were able to hold a stalemate despite a long Marian drive, and we will go to the fourth at Father Bly with the Huskies on top of the Knights, 15-0 on Sports Michiana.
Shopping for tires used to really ruffle my feathers. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack made it easy to identify the right tires. No more searching high and low. I got the best deal. TireRack has thousands of recommended installers. I chose a mobile installer. They brought the tires to my neck of the woods and put them on, right here in my driveway.
You're all done?
Thank you. When it's time for new tires, trust the experts. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
This edition of the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week being brought to you by Ferret Custom Roll Forming. We form value. We take it downstairs to Angelo Di Carlo with a Patrick sideline report. It seems to have been a very busy sideline. A lot of onlookers down there tonight, Anj.
No question. Talking to a lot of people down here, but I spent a good chunk of that third quarter on the Marian sideline with a lot of Marian fans, and you could see that excitement of, okay, can we get something going here on this drive? They start getting something going, and then obviously not able to punch it in, just not able to throw the ball in that drive. And that was the big factor, right? And ultimately decide to run the ball in 4th and goal from the 9. And is that the backbreaker for Marian here, especially after that big gain there by St. Joe, because that was their opportunity to get themselves back within a possession in this game, and instead they're not. So this is going to be a tough fourth quarter, but obviously they got to get a stop in this drive.
22-yard pickup for Matt Champlin, another first down sponsored by K2 Power Solutions as St. Joe is able to get the ball down to the 40. Nice block on the play by Connor Gallagher.
Heavy dose of Champlin this second half here.
He's quick.
Yeah.
6 carries, 52 yards, gives them a little dimension of speed, and it's going to be Champlin again, patiently running off the right side and then lunging forward for a pickup of 8.
Fourth quarter tonight sponsored by Christensen Furniture. Their family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. Christensen Furniture is located on McKinley in Mishawaka. Customer service is their hallmark. They make sure you make the right choice by offering free design service at your home or in the store. Christensen Furniture, where affordability meets style.
St. Joe will have tests certainly in the second half of the season. They have to go to Elkhart. They have a home date with Penn. And they have to go to Adams next week right over here at School Field, about a mile away. If that. Here's Champlin on another run. He's got a first down, sponsored by K2 Power Solutions, as he slams his way up to the 29-yard line for a pickup of 3.
At OSMC, you're not just treated, you're cared for, guided with diagnostics through recovery with clarity and trust. Get the care you need when you need it. Visit osmc.com or their OrthoCare walk-in clinic in Granger off of University Drive.
210 yards on the ground tonight for the Huskies. They came in as a very balanced team, if anything, more known for their passing than their running. But that has not been the case tonight. They have just decided to slam it right against the Marian Knights' strength. Knights showing blitz, and they almost had Antoine Ross in the backfield, but Ross is able to squirt free. And Ross is still on his feet and finally takes it down inside the 10 to the 7-yard line.
That just shows the wear and tear that this offense has put on this Marian defense throughout this game. Here you can see on the OSMC replay, I mean, they have him done. I mean, he is done. He is not picking up any yards. Nobody's wrapping up. Everybody's just reaching with their arms, and you can see how tired this Marian defense is.
And that's one of the things Michael Davidson said about his team is they don't have the overall team speed they've had in the past, and when you're slow, then you have to reach. And if you're reaching when you're tired, that's what's going to happen, is what you just saw. 1st and goal. It's Champlin. Well, Braden Cerny didn't have to reach that time. He was right there waiting for Champlin in the backfield for a loss of 1.
Since 1959, Patrick Industries in Elkhart has empowered outdoor enthusiasts to achieve next-level recreational experiences. Patrick is a proud supporter of our local teams and athletes, empowering excellence on and off the field.
Cerny is an all-state lacrosse player. He had 8 tackles last week in the win over Adams. Has an interest in going into engineering. 2nd and goal from the 9. Chicatano taking his time, bleeding the play clock down to 7. Biffle back in the game. Biffle slamming to the end zone. Touchdown, Franco Biffle, his 3rd of the night.
Well, when you have the ability to rest up, if you're banged up just a tad or maybe cramping just a little bit, and then get back in there and have him nice and fresh and ready to go, that's what's going to happen exactly right here on the OSMC instant replay.
10 carries, 80 yards, 3 tutties for Franco Biffle. The touchdown sponsored by Edward Jones advisor Lindsey Downey, and Ryder Place is on to try the extra point on a Place Homes kick.
For more than 6 decades, Marian High School has been a leader in academics, athletics, service, and faith. Experience our tradition of excellence yourself. It's a great time to be a Knight. Visit MarianHS.org to learn more.
The kick is up, and it is good. 8:57 to go in this one, and it has been all St. Joe. The Huskies lead at 22-0 on Sports Michiana.
Shopping for tires used to really ruffle my feathers. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack made it easy to identify the right tires. No more searching high and low. I got the best deal. TireRack has thousands of recommended installers. I chose a mobile installer. They brought the tires to my neck of the woods and put them on, right here in my driveway.
You're all done.
Thank you. When it's time for new tires, trust the experts. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Hey, this edition of the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. They're putting people over profits. The baby powder hanging over Father Bly Field. There's not enough wind to dissipate it. It's right over the student section here at St. Joe, and it's lingering like a cloud, but it's been all sunshine and rainbows for the Huskies tonight.
Oh, it sure has, and that's just lingering and starting to slowly move over towards us. Kind of like this offense is slowly wearing away at this Marian defense.
So a 22-0 St. Joe lead. Vinny Gruber fields the kickoff at the 18. Gruber looking for some running room, brought down at the 24-yard line. And St. Joseph continues its domination of this one.
Sports Michiana apparel is courtesy of our friends at It's Tops in Mishawaka. Clothes, office supplies, mugs. If you want to put your logo on something, odds are It's Tops can make it happen. Locally run since 1976, It's Tops give you the personalized attention you deserve. Learn more at itstops.net.
So Marian moved the ball down the field on its last drive, and Lucas Marr will stay in there at quarterback. He is the quarterback that tends to throw it the most in this offense, and the Knights are probably going to have to chuck it a little bit here if they have any hopes. Sete in motion. Marr throws back and short hops it as he was trying to hit Terrell Lane.
A big thank you to Tony Letcher and his incredible support of Sports Michiana. Tony is a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets, and if you're looking for assistance with Medicare, family, or individual health insurance, Google Tony Letcher, Health Markets, or visit tletcher.com.
2nd and 10. We will have an interesting point of discussion for player of the game in this one tonight, because Franco Biffle has 3 touchdowns, and Mason Kazmierzak has been Mr. Sackman. As the run here for Marian picks up about 3 yards on the play.
Locally owned, going back 4 generations, Place Homes in South Bend has a team of players, architects, and designers ready to work for you on building your dream home. Visit placehomes.net for more information. Place Homes, building homes, not houses. Go St. Joe.
3rd and 7. Marr with trips to his left this time. He puts Lane in motion, stopping him over on the right-hand side, and that's the side Marr is looking to, but he overthrows Terrence Lane. Good coverage on the play for St. Joe as Ryan Ruskowski was right there.
Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic in Granger is a family-focused practice that treats newborns to professional athletes and everyone in between. They offer high-level chiropractic care, digital X-ray diagnostics, and non-surgical spinal decompression. Google Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic to learn more.
After this kick, which is sponsored, by the way, by Marian High School, I want to go down to Angelo Di Carlo because I know he's got some family history for this St. Joe Marian rivalry that he wants to go through, and now would be a pretty good time to do it. High snap, but the kick booted away by Oliver Sager. It will take a little bit of a Marian roll, but not much, and it dies at the 48-yard line. Angelo, let's come down to you for a Patrick sideline report, because I know the family bloodlines in this St. Joe Marian series run pretty deep for some people.
Wow. I have a laundry list here, so I don't know if I have the time to express how many I have. It's a lot. But, we know Ben Downey, of course. His brother Kevin and him both played here. His sons, Ben's sons, Dallas and Dawson, are on the team. And then also, Dallas and Dawson have 2 first cousins that are on the team, Ryan Ruskowski and Ryder Place. Ryder, of course, comes from a soccer family. His siblings were great soccer players here at St. Joe and in college as well. The Ruskowskis, Dad was a quarterback at St. Joe. Grandpa Pat played for St. Joe. And then you have the Radigans, right? We know about Austin playing now, his older siblings here. On the other side of the ball, you have the Horvaths, who've had 4 kids play. And Dad Peter, by the way, is a St. Joe alum, so he has crossed and really loves his experience at St. Joe, but loves the experience at Marian for his kids. And then on top of that, you also have the Sete family, which, wow. There's 2 Setes on the current Marian team. They are actually cousins, but when you break it down, the one line, there has been 6 brothers, I believe, that have played for Marian, so that's pretty neat. And the Setes are also related to someone who has nothing to do with this holy war, but a name very familiar to a lot of people. Paul Moala is a first cousin as well, the former Penn and Notre Dame great. So there you go. I'm sure there are a lot of other connections, but we only have 8 minutes left in this game, so we can't go through them all.
We have a full set of Setes from Marian, that's for sure. Set A and Set B, I believe.
Only thing I can really think of is Chips and Doodles. They're a family-owned and operated small batch local bakery. Bakery, and their delicious cookies are baked in a commercial kitchen and made with real vanilla and butter. Delivery is available, as is pickup near downtown South Bend, not too far from here. Learn more at chipsanddoodle.com.
By the way, that St. Joe timeout was sponsored by Crimmins Carpet Services. Anthony Gooby back in the game, lobs it out there, and it's incomplete. He threw it somewhere between Gallagher and the other receiver, Antoine Ross. We talked about the road that is upcoming for St. Joseph. Boy, for Marian, you go from the frying pan to the fire next week as the Knights will take on the Penn Kingsmen over at Atulski Field. Then they play Washington and New Prairie on the road, come back home, play Elkhart, and go to Riley to finish out the season. And the Knights will have some work to do when they go into the film room. Gooby throws this one in the flat, and it's incomplete. It was nearly intercepted. Parker Mrzinski was able to get a hand on it, but he was being blocked well on the outside by Dallas Downey. It's a final now. Portage Central has beaten Lakeshore 57-0 tonight.
Wow. Hey, join the pack at St. Joe High School, where faith, character, and excellence are at the core of our mission to transform students in both heart and mind. Thanks to the expansion of school choice, tuition is now more affordable than ever. Learn more at stjoehigh.com. Go Huskies.
Also on the McKinnis Realty scoreboard, Jimtown leads John Glenn 10-7 going to the fourth. High snap, Matt Champlin will run forward and pick up about 4 on this one. And we'll see if St. Joe just decides to punt it away and pin Marian deep, and that appears to be what's on the mind of Ben Downey right here. There you see Ben played on that 1995 state championship team. He's been the coach at St. Joe in 2 different stints now for 10 years. This will be his 69th win. He's got 3 sectional and 3 regional titles, but St. Joseph has not won a sectional since 2015. They're in a very difficult one with Mishawaka and Northwood, but this seems to be the first year in a while where you say, hey, the Huskies have a shot at this thing.
Yeah, they definitely have some talent, and it's not like they have many weak areas at this point from what we've seen.
Including special teams. The Place Homes punt is downed at the 2 by St. Joseph, who continues to sparkle in that area. It was Will Solman, a freshman, who Ben Downey says is a heck of a baseball player as well. And he goes down and downs the punt at the 2.
Excel academically and spiritually at Marian High School through our impressive dual credit and AP programs. 96% of students last year earned college credits. Become a part of the Marian family. Applications open October 1st. Visit marianhs.org to learn more.
Some finals tonight up in Michigan. Edwardsburg, who looked so impressive on Sports Michiana last week, beat Sturgis 42-13. And in 8-man football, North Point over Twin City, that conglomeration of Our Lady of the Lake, Michigan Lutheran, Waterville Grace. But North Point Christian beat them tonight 24-16. Marian pinned back at its own 2-yard line. And they'll be back at the 1 after a illegal procedure.
Ferret Custom Roll Forming is the best choice in metal fabrication. Provides ISO certified quality with unparalleled service and support. At Ferret Custom Roll Forming, we form value. Learn more at ferretrollforming.com.
Also in Michigan, they'll go to the 4th. St. Joseph with a 29-6 lead on Lawrence North. They're in the first quarter, and Chesterton has a 12-7 lead on LaPorte. And the handoff and the tackle in the end zone. St. Joseph with its second safety of the night, it would appear. Yes, it is a safety for the Huskies.
Wow. The other safety, of course, was a muffed punt snap. This one, straight up defense, just getting in there, getting the pressure, not allowing to Marian push off the offensive line.
It was Jackson Troster, the top defender for the hockey team last year, who comes in and makes the safety. The second safety of the night for the St. Joseph defense that is looking to put its first shutout on the board against Marian since 2011. And they have a 24-0 lead with 6:53 left. And Marian is going to have to punt it away.
J Mill Packaging in Mishawaka is always rooting for Marian. They're founded in 1973. J Mill Packaging is one of the nation's leading box and packaging manufacturers. If you need custom packages, visit boxpackaging.com to learn more. J Mill Packaging.
They're going to the fourth at Jim Anders Field, and Northwood leads Mishawaka by a count of 19-16. And also, Adams leading New Prairie 14-6 now, that game in the third quarter. It'll be a Marian High School sponsored free kick here for the Marian soccer kicker Oliver Sager. And Sager's spinning kick will be fielded on the run at the 38 by Cranitti, and Cranitti bowling over people as he gets to the 39. Boy, I'm really impressed with the special teams of St. Joe.
Yeah, I mean, they're just all out. I mean, that's exactly what you want to do on a kickoff or a punt return is north-south. He got north-south. He hit that ball almost at full speed when he caught it and just kept going, picking up the big yards. Another great field position start for the St. Joe Husky offense.
Michigan City and Valparaiso are tied 7-7. That's in the second quarter. Cody French and the Wolves are playing good football these days.
Big thank you to Bruno's Pizza at River Park on Mishawaka Avenue for feeding our crew tonight. Stop in, take out, or get delivery from Bruno's Pizza, best pizza in town since 1975.
And here's Will Solman on a run, but we have a flag coming in from the back judge, and that often is a sign of a hold. Also tonight up in Michigan, Berrien Springs now with a 31-0 lead on Parchment as that game goes to the fourth.
Any update on that Knox-Tippy Valley game?
Scrolling through, they're at the end of 3 right now at Rice Field. And Elkhart with a 32-7 lead on South Bend Riley. Continue to look for some other updates here as you see the penalty marches this one back to the 40-yard line. Boy, penalties have really been a problem for St. Joe tonight. They have not been debilitating, but they've delayed them somewhat.
I mean, like we talked about that first half. I mean, if it wasn't for the penalties, I mean, they might have been up 3-4 scores in that first half alone.
High snap, Gooby able to collect it, and Solman right up the middle. He's so quick, and he takes it up to the 26-yard line. 14-yard pickup. You know, I noticed on the lineup chart, Will Solman's a freshman, so I said to Ben Downey before the game, he must be pretty good. If you're playing him as a freshman, he goes, wait till you see him on the diamond.
Yeah, I mean, he's got great speed and getting up there. But, yeah, like you said, excellent baseball player as well as he picks up the K2 Power Solutions first down.
K2 Power Solutions made a smart purchase on that, because St. Joe has had a number of those first downs tonight. That offensive line has done a great job as well. Total team effort for the Huskies tonight. Here's Solman again, and the freshman scooting to the outside and gets down to the 16. Awfully close to the chains. Looks like he might be about a half-yard short.
The 13-7 Foundation honors former Jimtown football player Deacon Dillenbeck, who died tragically in 2024 at the age of 19. Deacon loved the vocational trades, and the 13-7 Foundation awards scholarships for those looking to enter the trades. Search 13-7 Foundation on Facebook for more information on how you can support.
I have St. Joe for 267 rushing yards tonight. They came into the game averaging only 159 yards on the ground. Solman delayed on the handoff, then squirts through and picks up another K2 Power Solutions first down as he gets up to the 13-yard line.
Marian might have had just as many penalties in the first half as what St. Joe had in total yards. A lot of cleaning up to do for both of these teams moving forward.
But you are also at the midway point of the season. There is a ways to go before we get to the postseason, and all these teams have room for improvement.
Well, and speaking of that, as you talked earlier, St. Joe being in the 4A class, they do have a tough sectional. Marian, on the other hand, they're 3A. Play a great St. Joe team here, they're undefeated. Play a great Mishawaka team. They play a great Penn team. Elkhart as well. So they play some tough competition to really prepare themselves for that sectional.
St. Joe takes a timeout. It's sponsored by Crimmins Carpet Services. 4:20 to go in this one. Huskies lead it by 24 on Sports Michiana.
My name is Chuck. I'm a member of Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. The flexibility of having a HELOC made it simple to add items as we were going through the process of updating our house. So we didn't have to do everything at once. We could do it a little at a time as things changed, which made it flexible for us to use builders when they had downtime and get better prices for them. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. It is a 24-0 St. Joseph lead with 4:20 to go in this one, and the Huskies knocking at the door of the red zone again as they're down to the 13-yard line. In fact, they're more than knocking at the door. They've smashed through it. Confusion in the backfield, but Solman makes it look good, doesn't he? Will Solman takes it down to the 3-yard line, and it looks like he's got another first down sponsored by K2 Power Solutions.
Well, we talked about having a backup running back to Biffle. We might have another running back, get that second, third guy in there. It was kind of a broken play at first. There's a little bit of a delayed handoff. Does a great job of getting to the outside, following his blockers well, reading the hole, getting up the field. J. Mill Packaging in Mishawaka is always rooting for Marian. They're founded in 1973. J. Mill Packaging is one of the nation's leading box and packaging manufacturers. If you need custom packages, visit boxpackaging.com.
Solman has not scored a varsity touchdown yet. That changes right here. Will Solman into the end zone, and it's a 30-0 St. Joseph lead. That was all pounding the ball, and a lot of it was the speed of Solman.
Here you can see on the OSMC replay, just a great job getting up the field, turns his body, drives in between two defenders, splits them for the touchdown in his first high school score. Many to come from that young lad.
Boy, you've got some options there in the backfield if you're Ben Downey.
Yeah, that's good to have.
Biffle, Champlin, and Solman, that's a nice triumvirate.
Yes, it is. And then you got a couple guys behind the center that can dish the ball out and change it up a little bit and get the ball down the field as well.
Touchdown sponsored by Edward Jones advisor Lindsey Dowling. The extra point sponsored by Place Homes. 3:45 to go. It's all St. Joseph, 31-0 on Sports Michiana.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Tony Letcher and Health Markets, the right coverage at the right price. A 31-0 St. Joseph lead, 3:45 to go, and the only drama is to see if Marian can avoid the shutout in this one, which would be the first they've suffered in those rivalries since 2011.
Reminder, our fourth quarter is brought to you by Christensen Furniture. Christensen Furniture, where affordability meets style, on McKinley in Mishawaka.
And the kick fielded by Marian as it was taken in by Braden Cerny that time at the 38-yard line.
Another little squib kick, little pooch kick from the Huskies, trying to keep it away. Just another little wrinkle that other teams have to prepare for as well.
Final now up in Michigan. Saugatuck has defeated Brandywine by a count of 64-18. Schoolcraft over Constantine tonight, 32-14. We will continue to look for some other scores from around the state of Indiana as well. On the McInnes Realty Around the Area football scoreboard. The snap taken by Mitchell Fimble, and the quarterback for Marian tried to get to the outside, but Will Solman is able to get him there. I see you pointing out there, Coach Hunt.
Yeah. That's some speed, and that's some awareness is what that is right there. And that's just a freshman. Just a great job. I mean, just understanding where to be, where to go, and got a player there. Definitely got a player there.
Winnemac has taken a 30-22 lead on Culver in the fourth. Rochester beat Wabash tonight 56-7. Here's the handoff. Parker Mrzinski on the carry for Marian. And Mrzinski with his first carry of the night gets first down, sponsored by Marian High School.
Parker Mrzinski, the ball carrier.
He takes it down to the 46-yard line.
Steve Hunnan on the tackle for the Huskies.
Plymouth beats Goshen tonight 44-7. So the Rockies.
Goshen got their first win in a couple years the other week.
Up in Michigan, 8-man ball. Red Arrow beats Bangor tonight 43-16. We'll get you as many scores as we can before we go away here with 2:30 to go in this one. A timeout is called by St. Joseph. It's sponsored by Crimmins Carpet Services. Back with more after this in 30 seconds on Sports Michiana.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Ledger today to schedule your free consultation or visit tledger.com.
This edition of the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Tom's Car Care Center, the Coffee Spot Cafe, and the Waterworks Car Wash. 3 great services, 1 great place. Well, there was an announcement made during the timeout to the St. Joe student section to make sure they pick up all their baby powder bottles, so I guess they want to make sure they're all empty by the time they leave.
Yeah. They did say clean up the mess, too.
A 31-0 St. Joseph lead, so there's plenty for those Husky students to celebrate as Mitchell Fimble drops back to pass. He is under pressure and just heaves it to the sidelines to get rid of it, but he was out of the pocket. St. Joe coaches want intentional grounding, but that's not going to be called, at least not at this point of the game.
No, I think at this point of the game, they're just looking to wrap it up before anybody gets too seriously hurt of an injury, roll an ankle, or anything like that. A little bit of wrap-up time, getting some other guys some playing time in there. See some underclassmen getting some action.
Penn defeated South Bend Washington tonight 62-0. Niles over Pawpaw 30-14. Here's the handoff. Parker Mrzinski cut down after a pickup of 2 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 8. Reminder, our partners WSBT carrying us on their Facebook and YouTube pages. You can see highlights of this game and a lot of games from around the area with Pete Byrne and Bennett Wise tonight on Friday Night Football Fever. They may also have highlights of John Glenn's 14-10 win over Jimtown tonight to spoil homecoming over at Bill Sharp Stadium. That one's a little bit of a surprise. 3rd and 8. The rollout here by Fimble, and the pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down. Warsaw keeps the W trophy. They beat Wawasee 41-7. We'll see Bart Curtis and the Tigers next week on Sports Michiana against Concord.
That's going to be a fabulous game. 2 coaches that really respect each other, and 2 teams that know you have to come out and play your best and play your hardest for 48 minutes.
Concord struggling with Northridge right now, though. It's 21-14 in the fourth in that one. So the Raiders giving Craig Kaler's team some fits. 4th and 8 here for Marian. Lane in motion. They give it off to Vinny Gruber, and he's got nowhere to go. The St. Joe defense has pitched a shutout. Jackson Kelly with the tackle that time from the middle linebacker position to help close the door on this one with 1:34 left. And Ben Downey's team can take victory formation in this one.
Fabulous job by this offense, especially this defense, just shutting this Marian offense down as well. We knew coming in, Marian a little bit better defense than they did offense, but what St. Joe did defensively to shut this Marian offense down that whole first half and really not let them have any ounce of room.
We mentioned in the open, Bo, that there are some people that wonder, well, why wasn't St. Joe ranked when they were 3-0? And Ben Downey was very clear about it. He said we hadn't beaten anybody. And I'm not sure Ben's going to necessarily be overwhelmed with this victory. He's going to see flaws with his team. But at 4-0, you certainly have to say St. Joseph can start getting some people's attention.
Yeah, I think they're going to start getting some attention. You look at some of the AP polls later on in John Harrell, they're right up around the 13-14 mark. So they're just out of that top 10, as you said. But as Coach Downey said, you know, they really hadn't played a lot of people. Two of the teams they played were 0-3 going into this week. So they really want to be test themselves, and they want to just take one game at a time.
One more score to give you on the McInnes Realty Around the Area scoreboard. Bremen wins at LaVille for the first time since 2012.
Wow.
As the Lions beat the Lancers tonight 7-6.
Rough start for Coach Bagunia and the Lions the first couple of weeks, and bounced back last week and again this week.
And Dowagiac has beaten Benton Harbor tonight 69-12 up in Michigan. As for this one, it belongs to the St. Joseph Huskies. The 65th Holy War goes to St. Joseph by the final score of 31-0. They now lead the all-time series 37-28. Their first shutout of Marian since 2011. A lot to talk about on the Ferret Custom Roll Forming post-game show. We'll talk with our player of the game and have our Big C Lumber play of the game. It all comes your way next on the Sports Michiana High School Football Game of the Week.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. They offer corporate, sales, and retirement awards, along with personalized gifts and promotional products. Crown Trophy, nationally known, locally owned, where everyone's a winner.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
The teams milling about at midfield. They will soon join together in one of the great traditions in Northern Indiana football, as these two rivals, who would like nothing better for the last 48 minutes than to beat each other silly, then come together in the middle of the field. Many of them were teammates back in middle school or grade school, and they come together and bow their heads in prayer together at the center of Father Bly Field, a field named for the man who so often was at the center of the prayer out there. Welcome back to the Ferret Custom Roll Forming post-game show. As you see, Father Cameron from Christ the King Church and one of the chaplains for this Marian team come in and lead the prayer. And we'll just be silent as he does that. Amen, Father. Thank you so much. The two teams shaking hands, and it won't be long now as the St. Joe players surround their head coach Ben Downey, that those St. Joe players are mobbed by their adoring student body who have been chomping at the bit to come out here and participate in this one.
They're inching ever so closely. They had a couple times when they started running and got stopped, and there it goes.
And the celebration is on here at Father Bly Field. Unless you have been part of this rivalry, and we've been part as announcers before, but none of us played in it, I don't think you can really understand how much it means to the two schools.
Yeah, I mean, you have those rivalries in conference, you know, whether it was the Bremans and the Jimtowns, the Plymouth and the Warsaw, or the Northwood. You have those rivalries, but when you go to school and you play middle school football with somebody, and then next thing you know, the next year you're playing against them for 4 years, I mean, there's a lot of tradition and a lot of emotions built up in that.
Well, how about our two student athletes tonight? Of course, we had Seth Crusader and Charlie Gruey, and they were teammates together at St. Anthony back in the 8th grade, and both of them outstanding students. We're happy to feature them, and they did a wonderful job. Also a wonderful job tonight by our Reliance player of the game. Mason Kazmierzak was, as I said at one point, took residency in the Marian backfield. Well, he's standing by now down on the field with Angelo Di Carlo.
Thank you very much, Chuck Mason. A Holy War victory and a shutout to boot. How does this feel right now?
Feels amazing. Feeling like no other.
Take us through this game. Obviously, that first quarter was a back and forth, and then you guys took control. What are your thoughts on the way your defense played tonight?
I think we were able to bend, not break. We were able to take adversity. We were able to hold it in our hand. We were able to push right back at it.
Most of your memories of this rivalry, they've dominated.
Yes.
To have this performance as a senior, how special is that for your senior class?
It's obviously very special. Something that we've been talking about since this season has started, since we lost last year. Just getting back for our seniors last year and everybody else that's lost to them in the past.
Hard-fought game, and as a tradition, you guys come together in prayer.
Yes, sir.
How does that make this so unique compared to other rivalries?
It makes it unique because we put God at the center of all our lives. We make God the center of our football teams and our programs, and we just like to cherish that.
How much did you love running into the student body?
Oh, I loved it. I got to give it to them. They showed out for us.
Finally, you are 4-0. That has been a long time for St. Joe since they've been 4-0.
Yes, sir.
How good is this team?
We're good. I think we can play with anybody. Yeah. That's all I got. I was just very excited, sir.
All right, man. Go out and celebrate with everybody else.
Thank you. You have a good one.
Congratulations. Mason Kazmierzak, our Reliance player of the game. Back up to you, Chuck.
He didn't have to use a lot of words tonight. He just used a lot of tackles.
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, he showed his emotion, how emotional this game is right there in that interview.
Yeah.
I mean, just the way he was speaking, and you could see the emotion in his words and coming out of him.
Well, it's time now to look at our Big C Lumber play of the game. That came from the offense. You know, we had Kazmierzak as the player of the game because of the defense pitching a shutout. Hard to go, though, against Franco Biffle, and look at this run from 19 yards out where he just lowered the shoulder and went on in.
Yeah, as soon as he took that ball off the left-hand side there and went through the first guy, you knew he was scoring. He felt it, the confidence. He knew he was going to run over anybody that got in his way, and he was going to get in that end zone.
Franco Biffle, 3 touchdowns on the night. He finished with 80 yards rushing and a complete offense, defense, and special teams performance by this St. Joe team.
The only thing that's missing is just the penalties, and Coach Downey's going to tell you about that. And he did at halftime. They hurt themselves in the penalties, and they're going to correct those here in the next few weeks.
He's not going to just tell us about it. He's going to tell them about it, and we'll see if they can get it fixed. some tough games on the horizon for St. Joseph. They still have to play Penn. They still have to play Elkhart.
Yeah.
But I think Mason's right. They can play with anybody, certainly in 4A.
Yeah, I think they got a great road ahead of them, and St. Joe hasn't been here in a while.
Yep.
It's been a few years since they started out, at least 2-0 or 3-0, and they're at 4-0 right now. They do have a good stretch ahead of them, like we talked about. We'll see where they go from here and prepare them for the playoffs.
Well, we haven't been here in a while either. We haven't done a game at Father Bly Field in quite some time, so it's nice to be back here. Our thanks to Stephen Anthony, John Gumpf, and the St. Joseph Athletic Department for being gracious hosts tonight. And our thanks to our Sports Michiana crew led by the G-Man, Gary Martin, who was working every night this week, but still got the job done. Tony Beltran, Chris Skibby, and Duran Gray in the truck tonight. And then excellent camera work from Luke McDowell, Matt Kowalski, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. A reminder, Sports Michiana has a show called Notre Dame Federal Credit Union Irish Football Fix on the radio Monday night, 7 o'clock. Anj and I will recap the Notre Dame game with Texas A&M, have a Focus on Faith interview, and get you ready for the Irish game with Purdue the following Saturday. Then next Friday night at 6 on Pulse FM, it's the Tire Rack Drive to the game as we take you around the area for high school football coverage. And then next Friday night, we're at Fisher Field in Warsaw. Number 9 Concord takes on number 8 Warsaw. Pregame at 6:45, kickoff at 7, and we do hope you'll join us then. Once again, for my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famer Bo Hundt and Angelo Di Carlo, Chuck Freeby, the final from Father Bly Field in South Bend, St. Joseph 31, Marian nothing. The preceding has been a presentation of Sports Michiana. Thank you for watching the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week. Brought to you by Tony Letcher Health Markets, Tire Rack, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Big C Lumber, Ferret Custom Roll Forming, McInnes Realty, Patrick, Reliance, the Lulliard Insurance Agency, the St. Joseph County Police Department, Babsco, Tom's Car Care Center, and these great sponsors. Support us by supporting them.